Today we have the sister Sky from Lucid Living TV. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. And we're gonna be having a good little bill. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff today. So y'all buckle up. If y'all nice, if y'all like, and if y'all share, then maybe, just maybe, if the sister obliges, we may open up the phone calls for one caller at a time at the very end. But we'll see. Y'all share the video for me though. A lot of people in the chat room, they know you, sister. So
Oh,
you know,
nice. I
it's a pleasure to have you. Yeah, take over.
no, thank you for having me. We had like the little the communication and the hookup via email, and I really appreciated that because I actually asked for that on my channel. I wanted to collaborate with more of my people, and it actually happened. So I'm thankful for being here. A lot of people know me either by Osset or by Taryn. I'm an artist in music now. Yes, I've changed in a lot of different ways. If people haven't checked in with me, so I prefer to be called Sky. So, yep.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
and that's what it is. Again, thank you for being here. This gonna be a deep dive and spiritual discussion, and we got a various amount of topics. So let's go ahead and provoke some thoughts. If y'all gather any questions, hold them in your pocket because they're gonna come in handy later. I'm just gonna hop right into the first discussion because I see on your channel that something that's dear to you out of all of your content, what I find consistent is stars, alignments. I'm pretty sure you probably into natal charts. If you date, you probably really would consider what a guy's sign is. I'm pretty you one of those, ain't you?
No, I'm actually not. Sanchez, I'm not that
Okay.
person. Come on. I don't care what your sign is because
That's what's up.
whoever I'm
Yeah.
interested in, they already ascended past all of their chart and they're
Oh
just an
snap.
individual person. And I'm just trying to get to know. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, yo. That's what's up. This gonna be fire, I
I hear
can
you.
tell already. So as far as star alignments, because I ain't gonna spend too much time here because I
Well,
don't know how much time you want to spend here on star alignments and all that.
Sanchez, let me just say this. This is the first time we're ever really like flowing together. So one thing
Uh-huh.
about me is I go with the flow. There's no pressure, no topic picking. It's great to start off with something, but like let's just roll into just organic, flow and conversation wherever it goes. I'm very open to
Okay.
it. So yeah, it's all good with me. That's all I wanted to say.
That sound good to me.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about this planetary alignment today though. You know anything about that?
Well, I actually just found out about it like 2 days ago. And I know it happened like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, we're back to that. So
Yeah.
are you asking me about my thoughts on it and feelings about the
What does it
alignment?
mean to you? Do you have any kind of significance on a spiritual level
Well,
or yeah.
yeah. Okay, so how I feel about the solar system itself is it's definitely an inner body. And it's an inner archetype conversation. So each planet, we all have that personality type at some degree. So to me, from my point of view, when planets really align in that way twice in less than a month, I believe, I really think we're going into that real gate of the real new era, like AD BC, skip over BC AD type stuff. So it's kind of like how it's kind of like the universe asking us how are we aligned as the planets are aligned with ourselves. um what is Do you even know how your Mars aspect is of yourself? Do you know your Saturnalian part? Do you know what your earthly point of view is? Do you know your Neptune? Do you know like your Pluto, your Mercury? So it's really an opportunity for us to get to know ourselves through each archetype and be judged by it though. It's not a school. Like we pass school. So we're all supposedly supposed to be of age if we're in this cycle. So it's kind of like it's not a test, it's not a class. It's are you ready or not? And then there are consequences that come with or rewards that come with whatever that is for the person.
Okay, that's outstanding. Outstanding. I can dig that. I can dig that. You see these planets like an extension of our chakras or emotional frequencies?
I have conversations with everything. I'm a weirdo like that. Like I can talk to a toaster, I can talk to a cat, a dog, a planet. So like I really interact with the energies of what I'm receiving, and I just trust that it just feels like the most honest and authentic way to get to know something that I don't know anything about. I haven't studied in the way even that you've studied planets, and how you get into it and do your research.
Well,
I've done barely
I'm
any research, but I feel like I know what I'm talking about, because I talk to the
okay.
planets.
Word up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, my perspective on the planets is way, I'm a flat earther, so you don't want me to
That's how
go
I,
into,
I first started watching
you
your
know,
channel. You
oh,
got me into
word
the
up.
conspiracy of flat Earth, and you were that person that I was watching
Oh
religiously.
man. I was
Yes.
in my feelings too. I would ask you where you stand on it, but if you say globe earther, oh, no, I'm just playing. Where you stand on it though? No, you good.
I mean, can you stand on a sphere?
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't know. I feel like I'm inside of a sphere, but I can't stand on one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
So,
like,
uh,
I can say that my perspective of my angle of being planted on a ground of some sort, from how I see flat
you
until I
know
turn
what?
a corner, until I fucking like go on a roller coaster and go to an amusement park and start flipping around. But I don't see nothing else but that from my perspective. I'm gonna keep it that simple with that. I don't know anything else about that.
That right there. Yo, I gotta drop a flat power, guys. Let's drop a bomb. Yo,
Oh my God.
it's crazy how many people have like abandoned the globe. It's crazy to hear this because there was this experiment done, and I debated this rich pastor. I don't know if you heard of the final experiment. He
Mm-hmm.
said that he turned a lot of people away from flat Earth, but you're proof that that's a lie because people
Oh.
with a brain still gonna see the truth in it. But you know, that's
Well,
neither
my
here.
well, my question for you, Sanchez, on that, especially since you use the word brain, right? So I kind of like look at things. We do have shapes that exist here that are very important, that are micro and macro. So the brain clearly is a micro in our body that does match something out there that's much bigger, that's the same shape, right? So I'm saying, like, what makes you, if you want to go back there for a second, I'm really curious, like, what makes you feel like it's offensive to call it a sphere? If people want to, like, if people feel nice and cozy and comfy in that space, what is it about sphere versus flat, or globe versus flat, that really bothers you or really needs you to get to a point that is purposeful and that will change lives?
Well, I look at it this way, right? Where we are is directly tied to what we are, who we are, why we are. You understand? And the
Okay.
people in power, ever since a child, I've been fascinated with the stars because I've asked questions adults couldn't answer. And so that's what led me to my position. I found the answers from the ancestors, and they just so happened to say that the earth was flat. I don't really care if a person think it's a globe, but I now, on a political level, I care the fact that NASA makes billions of dollars a year exploring something that I can prove don't exist out there because people believe in it. It brings a lot of money. It's kind of like I grew up in the Bible Belt, a Christian. I found out Jesus wasn't literally some guy that walked the earth, died on the cross. I was educated in the way of the Egyptians, let's say, and I found out that all of that was plagiarized right off the walls of Egypt, and that these stories were more symbolic. So I then tried to go and try to wake up other Christians and try to, bring them out of the church. How I was brought out of the church. And a lot of people ask that question you asked. They said, what does it bother you if they want Jesus? You know what I'm saying, in their life? And
Yeah.
and I had to kind of grow into a thing to where, hey, what's bothering me is that I see people living a lie. And
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I guess that's the foundation in a nutshell.
Well, I hear you on that, and I feel like I'm a great neutralizer. I don't pick the middle because I do pick sides in certain things that I feel matter of fact about. But what I've learned is because I come from like Egypt, not physically on this in this lifetime, but I was there, am still there. So what I know about my culture in that space of belief is that we don't worship, but we kind of give all praises to the eye. And when you look at somebody's eyeball or their eye, it is the entire truth of everything. So if you want to talk about shape, the shape of the eyeball is the shape of a sphere, right? But the beautiful thing that we've been given a choice about is through the sphere, through the pupil, because pupil is also a student. If I have a pupil, I am a pupil and a student of God. So I have an eye, which means I have an identity. So means that I have a right to see flat with my sphere called the eye, you know? So I just feel like maybe I feel like this energy that we have tonight is really kind of just harmonizing a truth and just a different angle or perspective, you know? So I thank you for like all of your knowledge that you've shared about everything in the past too, you know?
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Um, so are you a Pan African? Because I know you into Comedicism, but are you into like Pan Africanism? Are you on like the Umar type?
I,
Um,
well, I don't know where I belong, to be honest. I watch some Umar, I hear what he's saying, but one of the things that I understand that categorization of Pan-Africanism is very important to kind of like get kind of Jewish without being a Jewish person and just getting that community stuck together in a way where it's like no integration allowed. Like this is us. So I appreciate that about like the Pan-African movement, but I have my own feelings about like race, for example, because I'm mixed, black and white, African, European, I am American. But I have learned, or God, from the way that I communicate with God, is that God has told me that black is now purely melanated soul and spirit. We have transcended the race factor, but not in a way where it's elementary, where it's like there could be a white person that has mad soul, like they are so open and in tuned, so like everything that what we know black is without being black, just because on a level of the stars and the cosmos, that's what black is. It's indigo. So the color indigo is able to hold and absorb every color of the spectrum, including black. So indigo is so vast of black that it holds the color black and carries black to the point where it turns navy blue. That's like black to me now. It's not brown skin, light skin, other stuff. So I understand those conversations. I just can't get with it because I'm very black. I'm indigo black for real. Like I'm like, what's her name? Nut and Geb and that like star. If my face was my spirit, I would be as black as the sky. So that's what I feel about blackness. Now with white is a beginning point, but the disease of whiteness is the no, there's a disease.
oh,
There's a disease
uh-oh.
because it's a clean point of view, which means that there's been erasing, there's been editing, there's been something that has been shameful enough to not want to be a part of the spectrum. So there's a lot of storyline that comes with whiteness that says, I got to scrub my DNA to the point where I want to feel new again. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Scientology even has an aspect of that. There are some Black people that really are white. They know nothing but trying to be the best of everything in a very clean way. And you know, being Black is a little too dirty. It's a little too soulful. You're dancing a little too wild. You know, you're cursing a little too much. And to me, that's white. That's like a white thing. So I'm just kind of like, the perspective of white and Black to me is really an inside personality thing. It's a soulful thing. It's a connection thing, an experience thing. I can't see the avatars anymore until it gets down to the basic matrix stuff. And like, you know, I'm getting hated on because of whatever. And then I see somebody else still being called a nigga and still getting kicked out of somewhere, because that shit still happens, you know? So I'm not like that delusional. I just hate when I see it, because I hate to be a part of that like level, but it still exists, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
not delusional about that. Everybody can't be on the indigo level. And that's my problem. And that's why I have a lot of anxiety now, because I wish more of us could be, you know, because we'll get a lot more done.
When you said whiteness is a disease, now I'm gonna have to give just a tad bit pushback. I don't
No,
think that. Go ahead.
wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can we say one more thing and I promise I'll be quiet?
You can know you
When
got
you
it.
over when you over clean the body, right? When you take away the bad bacteria due to being afraid of getting sick, that's how I sometimes see that aspect of whiteness. Now, my DNA comes from Sweden. The Norwegian side, the Vikings, they have gods too. They are very Nordic. They are not from Africa. There's a real cosmic scale that has, yes, there's African, and yes, there's motherfucking Nordics that was never on that side, because that's what the scale is. So they're Black in their way. Africans are white in their way, because we can switch it out. So Nordic, like white, is not a disease. It's the idea of trying to be white or thinking that it's better than. That's what makes it a disease. You hear what I'm saying? White is not a disease, though. That's
Okay.
all. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. They
Okay.
got smoke going. They got
All
smoke
right.
going in the chat room. You know, with a little poll that I put up.
All right. Oh God. Okay.
Well, I want to skip around a bit because it's a lot of topics that we I want to go over with you though.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and since we both musicians and there's this big topic and beef going on with Kendrick versus Drake, I gotta ask you where you stand on that. You already told me, but yeah, where you stand, because I really want to ask you first where you stand on the black folks creating hip hop, the Lord Jamar versus Fat Joe joint, FBA creating hip hop versus Tethers, as it's called. But where
Well,
you stand?
it's funny how we went to Drake and Kendrick after talking about that, and it's very interesting because it has a lot to do with race. Fortunately and unfortunately, it's a healthy conversation to have. The other side of the spectrum with Black people is that the DNA or the molecular structure of the Black DNA, the for real, what we're talking about, African-based Black DNA for real, is absorbent. It's an absorbent. It's a sponge. So there's a sickness that can come from there only because it carries and absorbs everything. So when you are not knowledgeable about being Black and you haven't been carried through generational Black, and we know the argument about like not privileged enough to even know your own power. A kid will be walking around absorbing what's happening in the next state over or the next city, because the magnetic field of a pure Black child is allowing everything to tell them a story at the same time. And like it gets heavy. So then we have mommies, grandmas, daddies, and granddads that will take so what happens is I feel like the wealth that has come from true Black excellence is that we don't want our children to deal with all of that. So we shall carry and carry. So this is where ancestry comes from. Like my grandmother carried, there's a carrying aspect that whites don't have. And there's been an exchange program where whites use Blacks to carry for them without paying them, because they wanted to be free. So we freed them. So they're wordplay people. So if you say you want to be free, a white person trying to manipulate you into carrying his heaviness will tell you that you are free. So therefore, you can't charge them for needing your services because you're free. You know what I mean? So can you fault white people for using words against? Because they are sword people. Words are swords. Black people are gun people. We use the back handle and the triggers. We get to your past and we get all your records and we fuck you up because of that. So I just feel like now we could talk about Kendrick and Drake.
I bet you, yo, I bet you ruffle a lot of feathers though. Cause
Oh
I'm
God.
telling you, you ruffling feathers in the chat room. Hey, it's not
I can't see the
divisive.
chat room. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm putting polls up throughout the show, but a lot of people is like, hey, I'm not trying to run away from the whiteness is a disease topic. I'm not trying to run away from the blackness topic, y'all. I ain't scared of the division. All right? Sister, if you want to keep building on this, you can. I ain't trying to just run to
Okay.
Kendrick
Well,
versus Drake.
no,
You
I
know,
hear you. So my thing, I did a reading on Kendrick and Drake with their numbers and I just understand like their archetypes and aspects. There's something I really feel there's something very special about Kendrick. When I look at Kendrick, I see a beautiful man, a very black, proud man from LA, very smart, very intelligent, has a story to tell. But I call this type like a red zoner. A red zoner is like a black person that is so proud of being black that they will place themselves on the ground, which is the root of the red. So they're always at war. They're always trying to be a pioneer to free their DNA, to free their ancestors, to free their descendants. So it's all about freedom fighting with red zoners. You know, sometimes they don't even have sex because they're way more interested in fucking shit up, fighting for freedom. And that's what satisfies them. Now, you have like an aspect of that where I feel like he's digging into his ancestral like realm. Wait, you disappeared, Sanchez. I don't see you. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't. Hello? Oh, okay, okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
right here. I'm about to cam back up.
Okay, I just saw you go. But there was a slight thing that I feel because I resonate with Drake a lot because he's a mixed man. Like he's Jewish boy, white, black, straight up. And being biracial is not easy, by the way, you know, and I feel like a lot of the annoyance that comes from a very well connected, in tuned, non racist, biracial man is when he gets attacked by the very people that he actually loves because he can't help but be. So he calls himself Six God. Six is sex, six is Venus, six is Luciferian, six is light, six is fire. So Drake carries the essence of a fire that you can't put out. He glows everywhere he goes. He's like a light bringer aspect of himself. He can't help it. Drake will come up somewhere and like it's like shiny everywhere. You know, he ain't got to wear a shiny suit, but he's a shiny person. He seems like he's very respectable, strategic, nice. He can't help but be a star. I kind of felt that there was an aspect on the Kendrick's part that was resenting that about Drake because he felt at some point in his career that he could never be that. So that at some point he was just like, fuck this shit. Like, you know, and nobody, I wasn't listening I couldn't listen to Kendrick as I listened to Drake. I can listen to a Drake album all the way through. He has a lot of range. Kendrick's music and his aspect of self wasn't glowy enough for me to be rocking to it. Now Kendrick is a lyricist. So there's a fucking whole amazing community that will sit there and listen to the fucking lyrics. Now when lyrics come to play, Kendrick plays, you know, but that just wasn't my thing, which makes him less popular, which can fuck with his ego though. He's a great lyricist, but where's the hit? You know, Drake just made a hit
Listen,
again and again and again and again.
I got it. I'm trying to listen. You live in LA. You can't be saying this living in LA. You're going to get in trouble. I got to protect you now. You know, LA ain't going to have this kind of Drake
Oh,
you know, it's kind of Drake praising. So I ain't gonna lie, that's something I had to think about when you was talking. Like, hold up, she's from LA. I haven't met a Drake fan from LA yet. You the
Well, you
first.
know what I say? I said, because I used when I went to when I started going to the clubs in LA, all they before Kendrick, all they played was Drake. You heard that come on, everybody went crazy in the club. Drake, 21 Savage, Drake, 21. Then when the Kendrick thing happened, I happened to go to a club again. They were playing nothing but Kendrick and other, and no Drake. So I literally gave the fucking DJ a middle finger because of that. And I said, this party had no soul to it because they was on the same note trying to prove a point.
Like the
So
Super
I could tell
Bowl.
I could tell it was a war zone instead of a party. So I was like, I'm not coming back to the club for a while because I don't know. I'm getting in my feelings about it. But I say, I'm gonna ask you this question. If if Drake, if we were to take, if there was some weird God that erased all of Drake's music, how would we feel about that shit? How would LA feel if
Oh
there was
yeah,
no Drake at all?
yeah, yeah.
And I really need them to
We
listen to a
can't lie
Drake
like
song and then
yeah.
really be in their feelings about the shit and ask themselves the question for real.
You heard that party next door yet? His new joint, or you still
I
it just came out.
I just started listening to it. It takes me so Drake, so he has like ranges in his voice. There's some Drake songs that I know I have to skip because he's doing that thing again with his voice, and I'm like, I can't. And I think he does that on purpose because he's like an actor too, and he has strategic ways of communicating, right? And then he'll go into a smoothness and then a flow, and I'm like, okay, this is a Drake that I can listen to. So when I first heard a couple of the songs from the new album, I did judge it. I said, why the fuck would Drake make a song with, I mean, an album with Party Next Door? I like it when they made little songs together every here and there because Party Next Door is a writer. Like he wrote so many songs you don't even know people. He wrote Sex With Me, so amazing. Like with Rihanna, like Party Next Door wrote that. So he's like, I'm like, why would they collab on a whole album together? Because it sounds monotone to me and it doesn't make sense. So then I had to breathe and like take a third time to listen to it. And now I'm just now vibing to it. Because I'm just used to him collaborating with Party Next Door at least on 2 songs on the album. So it's like they're so close in frequency that I just don't
Mm,
understand the collaboration for an entire album. It feels like it's a lot of both of them. But when
mm.
he did the 21 Savage collab, that worked because him and 21, they
They was
bounce off each
dynamic.
other.
Yeah,
That was easy to listen
yeah,
to. It was
yeah.
flowy. That was a perfect collab album, you know. So um that's what I have to but I'm listening to it now and I like the songs now that it takes a while sometimes, like 2 to 3 times to listen to it. So
I could tell you're a real music fan with that critique that you gave because you know, and I think the reason they did that with to answer your question with the party next door, the engineers, the producers who work with Drake, they know they can just throw him on a song and they ain't got to do much tweaking because he's in Drake's frequency. He's in that frequency range is Drake. But that 21 Savage dynamic is a good point though.
but
That's a good
I
point
feel
though.
like Drake is getting so when I'm if we really want to get into deep conversation, we can talk about masonry. I know I'm a
Let's go.
female and y'all don't like talking to me about this shit. You
Sure.
know? But anyway, so I feel like in masonry, in the music on that 33rd level, Drake is so there's always a protocol and an order that you have to follow. That's the whole point of signing over and initiating yourself to that level on the ladder is that whatever the order is based upon justification, you must follow through. And I feel like that was kind of like it was so what they're trying I feel they're trying to do to Drake is um make him suffer from depression and die from doing things that he doesn't want to do. Yeah, he didn't want to make that album with Party Next Door, but I think he's starting to like it himself. And no disrespect to Party Next Door. You know what I mean? I feel like he didn't want to make this album. I felt like he didn't want to go on tour. This is why he canceled it in Australia because he had to, according to the order. Now he must have broke a rule or two because Drake is like, wait a minute, I'm sixth God. Maybe I could cut a line or two and fix the order. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's putting a challenge up to his what's being summoned for him to eventually dig himself into a grave. And he has a son. If Drake was watching, he's trying to protect Adonis. I am a fan of Adonis from his one song. Don't talk to my man like that. I like it when you're right. So I'm like, I'm waiting for more music from Adonis. Adonis can't even come out with more music. It's too dangerous. And like, these are beautiful people. Drake is beautiful and sparkly and shiny. It's not because he's light skinned. Okay. But it could help sometimes because when we look up in the sky, we don't see nothing else but what shines brightly. So let's just stop playing. Then we have his son, who's like a redhead, curly, may possibly be on a spectrum, special child. And he has to protect that because I feel like his legacy is being attacked because there's a war out there on beautiful people. Okay, just in general. And Drake is a part of that war. Now, Kendrick, I feel, does not hate Drake. He might have been a little jelly, but that was a long time ago. He's at Chanel shows wearing pearls and shit, and he's happy. Like, he is not caring about hating on Drake. But again, when we're talking masonry and order, we have to get the autoimmune attacks where we get Kendrick. Is an enemy that is using Kendrick against Drake to a point of disgust. And Kendrick's like, I gotta follow the order. That's just what
You
it
know,
is. So
I'm,
I
I'm
do
gonna be,
feel
I'm gonna
like,
be, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the fact that if you look at the history of UMG artists, they've always beefed with WMG artists. That's Universal Music Group versus Warner Music Group.
okay.
Lucien Grange on Universal. His son is a big head in Warner Music, and he's about to move up and be the head over Warner. So you got a father at Universal, you got a son at Warner, and the son that's running Warner is learning from the father. When the father signed Nicki Minaj with Universal, he taught his son to fall in his footsteps. So what happened? His son at Warner went and signed Cardi B. That was his Nicki Minaj. And,
Ah,
and,
okay.
and, and what the father and the son told each other, what these Jews do who own all of these artists, they make them beef with each other because it makes the sales, it drives the ratings. So you will see that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B was beefing because one, and they under the same,
I
one
understand.
Warner, one UMG in the same family, the Grange family run both of them labels. It benefits them because you're gonna now buy both albums because you want to
Mhm.
hear the response. And now Kendrick is under UMG and Drake is tied to Warner Brothers. And so you see the same dynamic, just like when Meek Mill was beefing with Drake. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Drake is under UMG, him and Kendrick both. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So, but that's my thing. You'll see a lot of infighting when two artists have albums out at the same time. The label will make them two artists beef with each other so that the fans won't have to choose which album I'm gonna buy. They're gonna be obliged to buy both of them. You know what I'm saying? To hear
I
the
mean, I
beef.
hear what you're saying. I think
But
the conflict is healthy in strategy. Like, it's not
mhm.
pure evil to do that when you have labels and families and competition that exists, especially in hip hop. So that's been around for a while. It's just the way fans used to respond to it back in the day with beef. It was fun. And then there was like a neutralization that happened. But I feel like today the and we could probably segue into another conversation where I talk about holographic people versus real people. These people are not fans right now. They are algorithmically following something without thinking about it, feeling anything, and they're making things worse by choosing what Kendrick says about Drake. There are people that actually want to kill him because Kendrick said it, but like to a point of like pure evil comes out of that. And I don't think like you said, you brought up the Jewish people in the record labels. I don't think that they want to cannibalize each other, because then we have nothing left if we just cannibalize. I think that they know it's like being in a ring and the referee says enough, right? There's no referee. And like,
Well,
it's even, I could tell, because even when I watched the Super Bowl halftime with Kendrick, he was sweating a lot. He didn't look as good as he usually does, because he's another beautiful person that shines. But you just have to be able to see that and sense that, being a soulful person, no matter the race. I see Kendrick's beauty. I see his Luciferian side in his darkness. So it's like, he didn't look that great to me, or from the inner point of view. He had on a dope outfit. The dancers were great, but it was something about his spirit that was like, he had enough of this. He's even had enough. So what happens when it's just a constant order that's rolling, where Kendrick can't stop and Drake can't stop responding to the rolling out of something that will eventually cannibalize both?
the labels really don't care what happened to these guys because they just gonna sit back and cash in my opinion. But you know, you say you want to segue into some more stuff. You talked about the holographic people. I think something that's relevant to that is, are we in a simulation? What do you think about the idea that the Earth may be a simulation?
Well, I think there's remnants of, it's almost
Hold
like,
on, I don't mean to cut you off. Are you familiar with Sophia Stewart?
yes, I actually spoke with her on the phone, and she
Okay,
sent me a copy of like the other Matrix that she made.
that's what's up. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Um, so simulation, it just comes from, so the first simulation, so we always copy, like for instance, we're always inspired by something that existed before until we get to the source of something. So airplanes and birds, we already know, like the aerodynamics comes from the nature's mathematics of the bird, and it's created. I feel like there was a point in time in our past, our ancient past, where we knew how to stimulate our mind to create something that was moldable until it solidified. And in Atlantis, I believe, because Thoth is one of my favorite gods, who I had beef with for a while, because he's very judgmental and hard on me about angles and correctness, right? And then he left me alone for a while because I got depressed about that shit. But I do need money in my account, so Thoth comes in and says, "Okay, let's create strategies." But he's the person back in Atlantis, Emerald Tablets. He had an order and initiates that he taught how to, they built with their mind, fourth dimensional building. We had the eye back then to see the blueprint before it came into play. And then you needed energy to that pyramid structure that they talked about, thought about in all their meetings. They saw it like a ghost. Now let's keep it here. And then energy. You know where that energy comes from? Sex, passion, love. We need more love making. We need more procreation. We need people kissing, hugging, fucking, and doing things in order for this pyramid to actually exist. Okay, so now we're talking about natural solidification, flesh body that like can actually create something that wasn't there before. But then, I'm going a little too far, like I always do. So I'm
Well,
trying to come back and like
you good.
just say that there's of course technology that just takes that blueprint and just constantly advances that. But it all started from thought, from the brain signal into the ethers that connected to the matrix and literally created things out of nothing but thought, wisdom, respect, real worship, just saying, this is what we want. This is what we think about. This is what we talk about. Oh shit, there it is. And then it's like, okay, now go and like go meet a girl and like Don't rape her, touch her and get to know her. And now all of a sudden a part of the pyramid is appearing. It's just like, ooh, just because I had a nice time with that sexual goddess over there that I shouldn't be having sex with yet. We're vibing. Now the pyramid is starting to show more. So now women, the importance of women, this is where the Egyptian culture, the Cleopatra Foundation, actually, because Nefertiti got her head chopped off because of the shit. Cleopatra, she started bringing back, like bringing the goddess nature and the wise men together in real love, not marriage arrangement shit. It had nothing to do with royalness. It had everything to do with love. And that was her dream. And that's what builds things out of nowhere, you know, and it's honest, it's authentic, and it's safe. And AI can't, like, you can't blame anything on AI, you know, because it all came from our minds. And love and sex, real sex, and chemistry, alchemy, magnetism. This is what we're coming back into. And we've been so far gone from this aspect of ourselves that people don't know how to connect with women anymore, or men, and women don't know how to connect with men anymore. And it's like, it's all about beef and resentment and exes and I hate you, fuck you, I'm gonna ruin your life and play with you. And it's like, oh my God. So this is where things get like trippy, because things are created out of that nonsense. Things will appear in holographic form as a monstrous birthing from a horrible person and a mediocre person that are trying to like be together. It's the wrong level of electricity. So it's like creating actual static, because static technology creates holographics, and you'll create a version of your, like, whatever the fuck you are, and like that's walking around here now. And like that's a hater because it was born from hate. And that person is not attractive. And that person is jealous. And that person didn't come from a womb. It came from a thought process of jealousy. And those people started fucking like procreating from that shit, from hate. And there are monsters on this planet right now that are trying to kill people like me and you, Drake and Kendrick, even the labels. Like there's another head over called the real monster. I listen, I have done my work from my angelic self to my demonic self. I am a whole real person that knows my top and bottom. But there's something called a monster. That monster is jealousy. Jealousy is incurable. And that's kind of like cancerous cells in the body. That is called a higher like white blood cell count, because it's now duplicating too much, because it's repeating something and cloning itself that is unhealthy for the whole. So now you have a tumor. So when these people are around us, they make us sick, and they fuck with us because that's what they're here for. Their survival mode is to make us miserable so it makes them more happier. And then there might be a fucking storyline of real body snatching opportunity where they fucking like hate you so much that your soul leaves your body, your avatar still walking, and these motherfucking aliens just jump inside of a fucking beautiful body and take that shit over because they've always wanted it. They've always wanted the beauty. But then that's when God comes in and says, you will deteriorate and turn into a rotten mold as soon as you do that, because your soul and that blueprint avatar that you killed, you can't ever have that. You can never fucking align with that frequency, you ugly ass monster. Go dissipate somewhere, because you can't leave, because energy doesn't go anywhere. You know, so I this is the real spiritual war I feel is behind, you know, what we're talking about on like the other level. And that's where I be going too far. That's why I go like, I need to go sitting on a mountain somewhere for a little while. You
This
know,
is
people didn't see me go crazy already. So it's like,
Yeah. Hey, listen, people. We ain't gonna monetize this one, so we ain't tripping about a little profanity. This is uncut. This is
oh,
the sister Sky. You getting her full, unedited, uncut version.
I
So
did
there
not
you
know.
go.
I would not, I won't curse anymore. I didn't know that
Oh,
that
you.
something. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
you know. Let me switch gears here because I some more stuff I got for you too.
Okay.
Politics. Now listen. I think Trump is failing everybody right now. But I don't know. It's a lot of people who rock with me. They rock with Trump. Where do you stand with this president we got in office? This whole war over there in Gaza, and just the black conservative movement, like, and all that too.
Wait, what's the Black conservative movement? Because I'm not
This is
familiar
the
with
this
any of
is
that.
the black people with the MAGA hats on. They are diehard,
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I personally I don't have any issue with Trump being in office. I like Trump. He's from Queens. I always said, you know, if we ever could have lunch, I'd love to have lunch and dinner with Trump and with some champagne, wine, and conversation because he knows what he's talking about. His family comes from time traveling. Get the book.
Hmm.
He's a very interesting person. Now, president.
Okay.
So I don't I like him as a person. I would hang out with Trump like at a club somewhere. But what I'm saying is like as far as what he's talking about, like for instance, I'm in LA and I feel like he's being very responsive to everything right now. He's taking his time out. He's doing all of these talks. He's going overboard with making sure he answers everybody's questions. He's working with Elon, and I know people have their opinions about that, but I really think that he sees and understands the future so much that there's a devastation that will come. There's a lethargy or like a tired feeling that I even feel sometimes about what happens in less than 10 years to this entire world. And it's really bad. And it makes me tired thinking about it. And I feel like Trump, he's tired. But he's like awake because he's having fun with Elon playing with toys in space and talking about money. And I
Toys and
feel like
sleep.
there's a buzz now with human interest again. And I think Trump is I said Trump is not a racist, he's just a prejudiced person.
Hmm.
And guess who
Hmm.
else is prejudiced? Everybody. Because
Can I?
everyone has a preference of this or that with anything. I prefer to be around this instead of that. So I'm not racist. I'm just being prejudiced in my thought process. I prefer this over that. Like I I'm
Okay,
just
let
trying to
me know
really
when you
bring up.
want me to interject.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much.
No,
Please.
no, no, no. But I just want to say one thing.
Yes, please go ahead.
Prejudice mean a certain group of people may not like a certain group of people for whatever reason, they skin color or whatever. Those are prejudices, right? Now, racism is when I act on my prejudice, when I say, you know what, I don't like this group of people who are certain
Mm,
color, so now I'm gonna target them. I'm gonna make it hard for them. I'm going to poison them. I'm going to miseducate them. Now you're a racist. We
okay.
can be prejudiced, but when you act on your prejudiced nature, because you can say, I don't like him just because his breath stink. But if you try to kill him for having stinky breath, you racist. Like, you see what I'm saying? You can say, I'm prejudiced against bad breath
No, no,
people,
you try to kill
but you can't.
everybody with bad breath.
Right, right. Now
Right,
you,
right.
not right.
Okay. Now you're going.
So
That's your life's purpose now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All
Now
right.
here's the thing. I think what Trump is doing to the Palestinians on the Gaza Strip is a form of ethnic cleansing, and it is very racist because not only are far right white, think about this now, the Palestinians are far left Islam people who are brown skinned. Trump and Elon are far right white Christians who are white skinned.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing with displacing over 2 million people on a strip just to build a Riviera, basically a Western world Dubai.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's when I can fully confirm right now. Trump,
Mm,
he's practicing racism, manifest
okay.
destiny, colonialism, and all of that. He's no different. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a likable person. He's very
Mm,
eloquent in speech, and he gives you father figure vibes every now
mhm.
and then. But
Yeah.
and that's the dangerous thing about him. He's so charming.
Well,
You know,
you know what I think about racism on the opposite end. Because again, I am really coming from a spirit of Atlantis type speech right now, and we don't have time for immature speech.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if you are right on time, because these gates are open and you will get rejected and you might get sick in your cells and die in 2 years because you're not mature enough to understand the language of today, which was the language of Atlantis. The language is you cannot be a victim of something anymore if you have transcended it, period, point blank. Now, a racist can't bother me if I don't care, because I love myself so much that how can you even offend me about something about me that is not what I feel about myself? So this person eventually is never in my frequency. And if they do exist, okay, that's only because people care about what the fuck they're saying about him. So like I'll hear people where I'm at, Black people say, Trump ain't my president. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. I hope he dies. And it's just like, well, no wonder Trump wants you to die. Like, when do we stop? When do you stop saying dumb shit like that back in response? He is your president. You are in the United States. You are an ignorant Black motherfucker right now that I can't stand being around.
Wow.
But
Wow.
the fuck, what did he really do to you?
Wow.
But you over here wishing death upon this man.
Wow.
So who, like, when do we stop responding to the ripple effect? Because we have to clear the waters of the cosmos right now. And
Can I ask you a
this is where
question?
Anunnaki comes in.
Okay.
Anunnaki don't give a fuck. They hungry as shit. And they want to fucking make people disappear that don't belong in this frequency, that are too immature to grow up in this sphere of thought that we're in. Go ahead, Sanchez.
I appreciate that. Do you think that there's something called manifested? First of all, let me just say this before I ask you the question. I don't think a person is a victim for acknowledging the fact that there's an agenda of people in power and world conquest, or what we call colonialism. That's a fact. Now,
Can
if
you
a
explain to
person
me what colonialism is from your? I just want to get a better
colonialism,
understanding.
okay, I got you. I'm gonna start in the past and walk our way up to the present and show you the colonialist plans for the future. I'm gonna be very thorough. So I'll start in the past this way. The colonialists came over to this land on ships. You ever ate oatmeal? You ever saw the dude on your oatmeal box with the black hat on, top hat on?
Yeah, the
He's
Quaker
a
Oats guy.
right. He's an immigrant to this land. Now he came over here to a land full of brown skinned people who are already here. And he said that he discovered the land. He claimed the land. He colonized the people, meaning that when the colonizer came over here, he didn't see the people as people. He saw them as like the deers, the rats.
Opportunity. Okay,
The,
opportunity and real estate and stuff.
yeah. Well, he can't. He didn't see the people. You know, we were 3/4 of a human for a long time. You know, I'm from Alabama, so I can give you a lot of. I seen the Klan when I was a little boy. I know the mentality of certain white men in this country, and I know that those white men are in power now, and I'm seeing how they're practicing they're acting on their prejudices, which it would be racism. Now that they're in power, the masses don't see it. Of course, they're not gonna do it where make it obvious. But if I show you, for example, this new AI video that Trump put out, you will see what they're doing. And I'm not even talking about black people. I'm talking about the Palestinian people. That way, I ain't even putting myself in the midst where someone can say like I'm being a victim. I'm pointing out real victims though, who've been displaced and bombed and boom, children, and you see what I'm saying? So I ain't even putting myself in it because I feel like we're doing a lot better than the Palestinians right now. I'm gonna use them for a better example. Okay. And what these far right Christian males are doing in that land is a good example of what happened in my land when Columbus and the colonizer came here. So I can show you the video if you want to see it. What I would say is when you said where will it stop? It's like if a person invade a land, a tribal land with people on it, and the tribal people respond to the invader, It ain't where will it stop with the tribal people. It's when will you stop invading people's land? When will you just worry about your land? For example, Trump said he gonna make America great again. He said he was gonna focus on just Americans, but now he about to start a world war for displacing 2 million people in Gaza. This ain't gonna go well. We're going to World War III if Trump continue doing what he's doing with Netanyahu. I've been following these stories, and it's not right what they're doing over there. It's barbaric. We're even breaking rules. I was in the military. We're breaking Geneva laws. We're breaking humanitarian rights because we're so desperate to compete with the BRICS Union. We got to get us a Dubai quick. We got to have a Riviera of the West, as Trump called it, else we not gonna be able to compete with these technological these desert empires that's rising up in the East. Like, they're really bringing it. So Trump trying to compete with that, I don't know if it's worth it. Now I'll turn the mic over with you on that. This is a good discussion.
Yeah. Too. Yes. Thank you for it just got really cold where I am. Thank you for describing that, because I wanted to hear your perspective on that. Because I don't hear a lot of people saying colonialism anymore, right? So that word I don't even hear anymore a lot the way you said it. But I'm about to go somewhere like weird. So
I'm gonna turn my camera off for just a second, but I hear you.
I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see, where do I start? Yikes, because I might need be protected. No, I'm just joking. When I'm talking about, okay, being here in LA, I just want to start with like Mexican culture, for instance, because I really feel there's an indigenous connection that I've never, being LA now and being from New York, we don't have a lot of that in New York in the way that LA connects with like Mexican culture. So when I speak to a lot of Mexicans, they are very proud in a sense where they will not associate themselves with Latino, Latina, Hispanic, even nothing. They will say, I am Mexican. They will not say they're Black. They don't come from Africa, nothing. They are Mexican, and they will always say that. And that's something, and some Black people or even white people, whomever, might get offended sometimes by saying, oh, you're in America, you should associate yourself with, you're brown. Like, why do you not want to be Black? Why do you keep calling yourself Mexican? Or the Puerto Rican or Dominican might have an issue with a Mexican because they don't want to be Latino, they want to be Mexican. So so when we're talking about tribal indigenous types, you are right. Like and there's something about the spirit of an indigenous person, and all of them are not, all brown people are not indigenous. Let's just get this out the way. We're talking about a spirit. We're not talking about where you was born, who your family is. We're talking about an indigenous spirit, because there's a lot of brown people that are fucking shit up. Okay? I don't need to say the opposite because we're mature enough to have this conversation. I don't need to say, and white people too. I'm tired. So what I'm saying is, I'll see a Mexican woman out on the street, on the corner, right, selling oranges. And I can tell for some reason she's indigenously wealthy. She is a wealthy Mexican woman who feels like selling oranges for whatever reason. And she's happy selling these oranges, right? Now, the foolishness comes from the colonizing mentality that will see this wealthy Mexican woman selling oranges and treat her like shit, pass her by like she ain't nobody, talk shit about her for selling oranges and for being Mexican. So those types I have an issue with too, Sanchez. It's like, you don't feel the gentle kindness of this indigenous spirit. And that's just an example of, I'm just getting, if we really want to go back to the source of colonialism, I can never say the word, colonization, it's really taking advantage of a kind, connected, indigenous soul, spirit, avatar that has been here. So even if you want to talk video game references, they would be the NPCs. And the NPCs are the indigenous code of the whole goddamn video game world. So they know more. They have secret tablets because they can go in the back end of the matrix of the video game, since they're NPCs anyway, and get secret things that you can't get because you're a player. And now you think that you're better because you got strategy, because you know it's a game. Meanwhile, that's their home. I'm an NPC. I was born here. You inserted yourself here, player. So now you want to treat me like I'm nothing, a non-playing character to me now. In my world, we used to make fun of NPCs. I remember having videos, discussions like this. Oh, she's an NPC. It's just like, an NPC, in my sense, is an indigenous connected person that is not stupid. It's just not playing, and now the characters have turned into the clowns, and they fuck shit up because they're really taking advantage of the indigenous soul. So I don't think Trump is doing that. I think Trump is just a cutthroat level that has to do certain things in order to see 100 years from now today. And it won't make sense. It won't be pretty. Do I trust the process? Yes. Do I have a responsibility to place myself in a responsible arrangement on his planet, in his country, while he's president? Yes, because I don't want to be on that side of the cut, of the cleansing, of the extermination factor of what the visionaries, the royal families, even the African royal families I'm talking about, the Indian families, the Asians, they all have to plan 1,000 years from now, and they come back in their own bloodlines. So if they die 20 years from now, they know through their great grandson or daughter that they will be rebirthed in the same blueprint they helped build. These are people that got to get rid of dumb, stupid motherfuckers. Indigenous people are not that. Brown people are not that. There are dumb motherfuckers here that really do need to go, but they might be entangled with a kind person, a kind grandmother, a Black grandmother, a Black child, a daughter, an indigenous Mexican spirit, an Irishman, an African. The entanglement factor, that's a difficult point, because you got a whole generation of like assholes from like 200 years of beauty, and they are taken from their own legacy, and they are fucking shit up for their own children that they have. And now it's all mixed up. And the only types that can take care of entanglement factors such as blood and like actual barbaric situations is somebody like him. And like, I can't say anything else about that. I don't like it. I don't want to be a part of that. I know it's happening, and we just happen to be in a space where it's happening right now. World War III, you're right. But if I knew somebody was gonna like kill my daughter, if they had the son, and I had a mob fucking family that said, kill that one before the other is born so that my daughter can live, that's mobster strategy though. Yo no sé, me ain't got nothing. I know nothing about that, but all I know is I want my daughter to live. So those types of decision makings, that's different. That's a different like category. Should that be involved in government? I don't know. That's like gangs and mobs and royal families and stuff. But when it comes to the United States of America, that's the question. Like, do we take these mobster strategies and use these strategies against certain people that actually do have to go? Do we have to start with Palestine on a masonry level because so-called third world countries they know what their land is used for? And that's another conversation, because that'll take about 2 hours just to have.
Hold on one second.
It's a sacrificial life cycle in those countries, and they already know that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was gonna ask you, based on everything you were saying, what exactly did the Palestinians do to make them barbarians, or like the undesirables that should be facing extermination or whatever. Because I have a different theory on why they're facing extermination. It's more
But
sinister than.
wait, who's facing extermination? Are you talking about the Palestine specifically, or are you coming back to like American territory?
No, I'm
Just
still over in Palestine talking about how.
okay.
Let me show you something real quick. I'm going
Yeah,
to
because I don't
play a
know
video.
much about what's going on in
Okay,
Palestine, so I don't.
and
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand.
yeah, salutes to you, sister. Got a real dynamic viewpoint on it. She ruffling some feathers, I know. Let me play this video real quick.
President Donald Trump has floated the idea of America taking over the Gaza Strip. He's said he wants to make a resort there.
The president said recently that he's not actively pursuing that idea, but then on his Truth Social account, he shared what appears to be an AI-generated video. Take a look.
Trump video.
Donald's coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
So one thing I want to say is that I could show you the devastation over in Gaza, but YouTube is real sensitive about it. But they're getting bombed. It's a lot of devastation and chaos, which is why I'm just focusing on Gaza right now. I could complain about like the issues in America and stuff, but I'm really focusing on this because this is a prime example of just rich guys don't care if they're bombing children and women just to create some sort of utopia for the rich. And the average American won't even be able to afford to go to these places. Like when people say, I'm going to Dubai, they don't even want you over there. Like you the brokest thing walking around Dubai. Like, I'm just saying, like, but I that's all I was saying. You know, I don't really agree with this, but you know, we can move to something else whenever you don't get the last word on this.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Thank you for showing me. I mean, when I see the word Gaza, I hear Giza.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pyramid, go in Egypt, again. And was this AI video, was it generated spontaneously and algorithmically from an AI program, or did he design it?
I can't really be sure on this, but I'm pretty sure Elon had something to do with it. I just can't see Trump putting out an AI generated video without, you know. But yeah, he put this out to show his idea of what he has for Gaza, and people was clowning it and
so
stuff.
Sanchez, can you play pretend with me real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let's just say, not Trump, not Elon. Let's just say they're victims too of something that I've been talking about that exists. Let's just say AI itself put out the video and said Trump put it out. Let's just say we're dealing with a level of AI that can create a storyline of bullshit and put it out on YouTube because it's AI and it can do that and it feels like doing it.
But this is really going on in Gaza, though. You know, but I see what you're saying. AI can even exaggerate what's going on or whatever. Yeah, even without AI, the regular human news reporters does that. But I will say that this has always been a plan of the far right and of, you know, the Trumpian squads. But you know, I ain't gonna interrogate you about it. So we can.
Yeah, that's fine. I love talking about it. It's very touchy because I know that there is a lot of sensitive issues with innocence being destroyed. We're still dealing with human trafficking issues that is it's a lot going on with that here in LA. There's like children getting kidnapped, and like there are elites that like help with that shit, and like they get like in and out the tunnels with the stuff going on. So I know there's some horrible things going on with behind the scenes politics in front. And underground. So like it's so vast in that sometimes detaching from that emotionally, one day at a time, by being kind to whoever's in your neighborhood, like being kind to your family, being kind to yourself. Like sometimes we got to equalize there and say, I'm going to say good morning to somebody that I walk past, because this world is just crazy right now. And Trump and this and that, like, let me just say hello when I walk into the store and get like a coffee, and like smile at somebody and give them a compliment. Like that's like equalizer energy, and that's all we really can do. And then we have to hope and know that that small little thing, like smiling at someone, giving a compliment and being genuine, does have an effect of a circle around, can save a child in Palestine, just from, because now we're talking quantum. Just because I said good morning and had a really great 5-minute conversation with somebody that needed that energy, and somehow somebody's life got saved because quantum fields turned them left instead of right, so they didn't get kidnapped. Instead, they went to school, and then they came back to their families and went to bed. Like now we're talking quantum effects. So we got to go to the smallest degree of kindness, being genuine, and being smart and intelligent enough to learn ourselves over again from that 0 point. I feel like we can literally clean this up by doing stuff like that, and knowing that it does make a difference to these countries and these people that are really being affected. We're all connected. We are quantumly connected to that level. So, that's what I could say about that, just to kind of like clear that energy, because I want to take it seriously. It is serious. I am a parent. Like I am a sensitive person. And I hate when innocence is taken advantage of. That's one of the things that if I say I hate something, it's monsters that take advantage of innocence and connected people.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off politics here after this last question. What do you think
Okay.
about Trump deporting all these immigrants? Especially, I know you in LA, so it's you probably seeing it a lot of.
Well, since you're speaking to a weirdo that might work for NASA for free, what I'm gonna say about
For
that
free.
in code
Okay.
is, if there's cells invading my body and I don't want it there because it's hurting my whole system, my nervous system, my immune system, my heart, my lungs, my kidneys, because motherfucking cells is trying to find a placement in my body, I think I'm gonna want like something to tell these cells to get the fuck out.
And that's how you feel about immigration, right?
Would you like to negotiate with cancer cells invading your body, Sanchez?
Oh no, oh hell
Do
no.
you want to have a conversation and try to hear their side of the story as to why they want to duplicate and cluster and create sickness in your body? Do you
Of
want to have a
course.
conversation with them? Do you care about them at all, placing them in, finding them a place in your body, but you're going to be sick when on that journey, and you might not ever get there, and then they just invaded your whole body anyway? That was the plan. And now you're not here anymore, but the cells won because they just blasted you off to death. So this is what I'm saying. I gotta land back on earth as far as Trump and immigrants. I don't know nothing about those politics, but if motherfuckers ain't get here, if they get caught and they don't belong here, they gotta go. It's very simple. I'm not racist or a bad person for thinking that shit. Like if they get $5,000 because they happen to be like fifth on line and non-American, and I'm on the same line and I'm the 80th person online because I got there a little late, that's not fair. That's an immigrant getting my money. They just first in line because they got here early, because they snuck here and now they trying to stay, and now they got a stipend for being here. And it's just like, no, I've been waiting for the stipend. I just woke up on time and you just happen to be here early. You're an immigrant. Like move out the way, make the line shorter so that people who deserve the American resources can get them. Would I be considered a conservative for thinking this way, or should I feel sorry and say, can we keep all of the
I would say this, right? I would make this argument. If we're saying let's kick the immigrants out because they taking our jobs, right?
I ain't say kick them out. That's all. Immigrants should not get caught. Just don't get caught. Just
Well,
be
they
here.
gon'
I
they
love
gonna get
people.
rounded up.
Like if
They
you
gonna
here
get.
in America, you chilling and I'm chilling. I ain't got no problem with you. I don't care about your paperwork. But if you got caught up in a system, how am I supposed to be for that and hoping that they let you stay? I gotta step away from that. You know, that's real politics. We can't have too many immigrants that don't have proper paperwork and did not go through the proper procedures to become an American, like be a detriment to resources that could be going to Americans. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying don't get caught in the system.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna move forward. What you
Okay.
think about the FBA movement, foundational Black Americans and reparations and all of that good stuff?
Can you tell me more about that?
You ever heard of Tariq Nasheed?
Sounds familiar.
Okay. So the whole thing about foundational Black America, you ever heard of delineation?
No.
Okay, so it's Black people in America saying that they want their own identity and they want to
Okay.
be separate because the way that they use Black, they put everybody in it, like Jamaicans, Africans. If your
Okay.
skin Black, you Black. And Black people are saying, no, we ain't the same. We're our own exclusive group over here, all by ourselves. And we want to argue politically for reparations for the descendants of slaves in this
Okay.
land.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with that. That actually
That's
sounds quite organized, prideful, and smart.
That's so dope.
That
That's
sounds
dope.
very smart. And I'm actually very proud that that's a group that's actually coming to surface because it's about time. I mean, a Jamaican do the same thing. He will not say he's Black. He'll say Jamaican. And
You still enough right.
Black people it'd be Black people that be like, that Black man, and then now all of a
Yeah.
sudden when you get benefits for being Black, that Jamaican's like, I'm Black too. And it's just like, so you need that protection against like real identity, with real authentic connection to the descendants and ancestral like respect for being placed somewhere, going through that, and still being here, bloodlines after. You need that. So I definitely respect that for sure.
Hey, that's what's up right there. That's what's up. So, is there anything in particular you wanted to bring up or questions you had or anything like that?
Well, did anybody have any questions for me? You can open up
Yeah,
the
well,
line.
a lot of people are wanting me to open up these lines. You know they're
Yeah,
gonna be off the chain.
Go
All
right
well,
ahead.
Well, y'all asked for it, y'all got it. So I know she done ruffled a lot of feathers too, so this should be interesting. There's the link, guys. Come on, all of y'all people that's triggered. Come on up. All of y'all people with questions, come on up. You probably gonna well, hold on. You Awakening Mind said he's Jamaican, but on his birth certificate it says Black.
Wow. Was he born in America? Or it says that like on his Jamaican birth certificate. It still says Black. It doesn't say Jamaican.
Yeah,
Does that? I don't know how to.
Yeah, I don't know how that work either.
Like, do they do that in Europe? Like when somebody's born like in France, does the birth certificate say French or does it say state a race of Black or white still? I'm
yeah, they
curious
do
about
like
that.
So yeah, Awakening Minds, you should come up, man, and break that down, man. I be forgetting that you Jamaican too, my brother. Salutes to you, man. He was born in Jamaica.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop the link for
Wait, so I'm
everybody.
curious to see if there was a white man born in Jamaica, if on his birth certificate it says white. You know what I mean? Like I would wonder
It's gonna
what's
say
the
here. It's
other
gonna
side.
say, you know what? And that's the thing, right? In America, you don't identify when you mark these boxes. They don't have like Jamaican, your nationality. They group everybody under these social statuses: Black, white, Pacific Islander, and all that. And that's good for divisive purposes. They do that on purpose in America. You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually on the box list, it's like a black, white, Hispanic, or other, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. It's like if if a white person from South Africa move here, they're an African American.
Yeah, but how does black people feel about that? You know,
Well,
see, here
we're
we go
not.
with that.
Yeah, and
No,
it's
I'm
that.
just saying it'll be some black people that'll be like, he's a white man. And it's just like, no, he's really African American. Like,
Right. And I will have to tell that black person, we're not African Americans. You know what I'm saying? We're foundational black Americans.
yeah, and that's
We're
we,
black
yeah,
Americans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, hi, Awakening Minds.
Salutes, Awaken, and take the floor.
He
Hey,
has
lady.
his
Hey,
on.
lady.
Yeah.
So, salutes,
Hi,
my family. Salutes, bro. Good stream, y'all. I'm going to say what's up to the
Appreciate it.
sister.
thank you.
Y'all touched on a lot of topics. She definitely have her own mind, and her own thoughts on things, But I had to say something about the whole black thing, And bro, this is something I wanted to talk to you about too, because I'm from the islands of the Americas, you know. Now, the US would be the states of the Americas, but Jamaica is in the Americas. Now, I understand when you say foundational Black America, I understand that point, FBA, but we're all Americans, you know what I'm saying? Now, on my birth certificate, I'm Jamaican, but on my birth certificate it says I'm Black. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, so are you asking on whether
Now,
you
Black
would
is
be
a
accepted in the FBA? Are you saying like in
no, no, no,
comparison
no,
to?
no, no.
Okay, okay.
No, my sister. I don't. I'm an earthian more than anything. I'm just entertaining the conversation as well. But on my birth certificate, it says Black, and that's a whole nother story. We can break down what Black is or why they categorize us as Black. But I just wanted to clarify that Jamaica is an island in the Americas. Now, it's not FBA because that's a group that was created for Black people here in the States.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? To have an identity for themselves, to have a political movement for themselves. But I just wanted to clarify that. Like, I'm from the islands of the Americas. You see what I'm saying? Just like you guys here in the States would say, I'm from the state of America. You know what I'm saying? But either ways, on your birth certificate, it says Black, even though you have a white pops or a white moms and a Black mom, or you know what I'm saying? You're mixed, but on your birth certificate, it says Black as well. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're born in the islands here in America, it says Black if you're the skin color that they classify us in. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to say. Great bill, bro. You did your thing, bro. You didn't too much attack the sister because you guys have different viewpoints on things, and we appreciate the sister. And
Oh
we
no,
wanted
I
to come
gotta
back.
let I'm gonna
Yeah.
let her live, man. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
debate the sister, man. That's for the
We
smoke
don't
for
do
you.
that.
That's the smoke for you, Awakening. That's what I got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
debate you, bro.
so wait. So I'm actually looking at my birth certificate right now, and it don't say nothing. It says girl. It says my name. I'm a girl. 7:15 a.m. September 16th. Blah blah blah. My mother had me at 18. Brooklyn, New York, Kings County, Brooklyn. What doctor had me? I have no race on my birth certificate.
And even on the driver's
Empty.
license,
Empty.
even on the driver's license, it used to say Black till 1996 when Bill Clinton changed that. Damn, my battery about to die.
I'm
But I
Dominican.
just, yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that. Like, I'm Jamaican, but I'm from the islands of the Americas. You know what I'm saying? You guys are from the states of America, you know? But either ways, we all want people. I don't even entertain that. I say I'm a Earthian, I'm a Martian, They call us Martian. And when you put Earth first, but I don't have no smoke, bro. I just wanted to clarify that. Like, Jamaica is in the Americas. In fact, it's in the North Americas, but it's an island,
Okay.
and I can really go deeper with the Arawaks. You know what I'm saying? And we could talk about the Taino Indians. So we're, if anything, we could say we're Indians, but that's a whole nother story. I just wanted to clarify that whole shit because on my birth certificate it says black. You know what I'm saying? You look at me right now, they will call me black. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of word games. It's to create division. We all want people, even white people. I love white people. I don't want to call them white people or Caucasian or put a title on them. We all one. You know what I'm saying? But salutes to the sisters. As you can see, I'm at work, bro. But I just had to jump in. You know, it's a great build. I'm sure there's plenty other people that got stuff to say. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I let the sister live also, my nigga.
Well, let me live. You don't let me live. I'm here and I'm living. Thank you. Thank you and good night. Thank
Nah,
you and good
that's
night. Let me live.
that,
Like I'm like we didn't come on here to fight. Like the
nah, that's what
fuck.
I'm saying. Like
Anyway,
you
whatever.
took it the wrong way, man. I'm not saying
Nah,
let
I
you
ain't take nothing
live.
the wrong way because you ain't
You
saying nothing
okay?
right now. All
Okay.
right.
Hey, bro. Hey,
Yo,
bro.
bro, that was
All
I
right.
didn't expect that. That was crazy. That
You
hey,
let me
listen.
live. Get out of here.
No,
Sanchez, I know
stop
this is
it.
your
Stop it.
show.
That's a figure.
Anyway,
This is
can
a
you
figure
mute
of
him?
speech, man.
Yeah,
Sanchez, this is your
Respectfully,
show.
respectfully, sister.
She
It's all
heard.
love.
yeah.
This is
It's
your
all
show,
love,
but
sis.
like you got to show
Yeah,
me respect
it's
too.
all
Like
good. I got
we've
you.
been
You
having a
good?
great
Wow.
build. Like ain't
Listen,
no
Wow.
in
Let me get
let me
back to
just
work,
say
bro.
this real quick, right?
Relax, yo. I gotta mute
On
this.
his behalf, I don't think he meant the
I don't
disrespect,
care. I
but
took
yeah,
it in a way because it didn't make me
okay,
feel good.
okay. Well, we'll
And I'm like,
we'll we'll move
I'm
forward.
a very special person, and I'm very nice and kind and smart and intelligent. So I should be living. And Sanchez is. I hope you're enjoying my conversation because I'm enjoying yours. And of course, he let me live, but he's not God. Thank you and goodbye. Anyway, I won't fight with anybody else here.
This is yo. Shout out to Awakening Minds. And yes, hey, salutes to the rest of the callers coming on, man. I hope y'all got your questions ready, man. Hey, we lit as you can see. Let's
Oh
go to
God.
John Smooth. John Smooth, where
Dude,
you at?
let me put my baby girl hat on. My baby pink.
John
Like out of
John,
here just to protect myself, yo.
you
Go
good?
ahead.
We you in a good
No,
environment over here.
I know I am, Sanchez. I haven't done this in a while. So like, woof, thank you for the opportunity. But yes, we're here to have harmony, not agreements all the time, but harmony. So please continue.
Did you want me to say something?
Yeah, brother, you next. If we could go to somebody else so you can get your mind right, as they say.
Uh, I didn't have a question. I was just hanging on,
Okay,
just listening in.
that's fine. That's fine.
But I feel like a lot of the perspectives we're given, like, is still looking at Mexicans as they're animals or they can't govern themselves. But a lot of these places, there's still a lot of places all around the world that aren't fully factory yet. They aren't fully industrialized yet with oil rigs, dams, and things like that. Like the Amazon, it still has every single color there, every single fruit there, every single different kind of strain there. So people in America, we feel like, oh, we got technology, let's just throw them away. But I feel like we're gonna suffer a karma for that if we just throw them under the bus and we just say, oh, uh, let's go with AI, let's move with AI, and because it's always been like this, the empire destroys the nation that's in the way of their new industrialization, and this is we have to have a mindset of seeing how the rich people look at it, because they look at it as you know royal bloodlines. They all are playing chess with the mass, and they're gambling, you know, with different people, with us basically, and they are giving us different ideas, like saying that the governments always make their people feel special, that they're the chosen people, but we're all a different part of the source. We're all a different part of that one light, and there's not one source, but let's see, I don't really know how to add on, but I feel like, the mindset we're given, they're trying to put the karma on us, that's what America's been doing. These secret societies been doing. They put the karma on us. They make the earth look at uh the mass like parasites because we all have to work. We all gotta work for oil companies, factory companies, dam companies to survive. And all jobs are connected to, taxes and them building underground military weapons, biological weapons. And even like in Africa, right? They will literally get a virus here, put that virus in indigenous people to try to put a synthesize to that virus, and that's sick. And America is doing a lot of sick stuff, and this experiment might go overboard if we keep going along with it. But let's see how y'all feel about that.
Appreciate that. You didn't really ask the sister a question, so I'm gonna just go to the next person. But yeah, salutes John Smooth, man, and welcome back. Like I said, A Savage, go ahead because your mic already unmuted. You got it. Salutes to everybody. What you got for us?
Lucid, everybody. Respect to Sanchez. And excuse my language as I say, Madam Guy, I love your style. I'm
Thank
a
you.
West Coast cat out of Los Angeles. And you're breaking
Wow.
it down in a way that's, it seems like you can't overthink this stuff. It's real simple. And I think that's what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
showing
thank
your
you for that.
brilliance. Yeah, you're running through the thick of it and showing your brilliance by, and it's something that I explained and I helped develop this through Sanchez because I've been listening for a little while and just coming back to you, Sanchez. But all that is to say, when we talk about what this earth is, and I'm not going to stick there. I'm going to stay with you, Madam Guy. It's what would ask a baby, ask a baby the question or explain it to a baby. It's really that simple. We trick ourselves into being
Well,
so
first,
smart.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What's your name? Because I see A Savage. What's your name?
For the record, everyone can look it up. I'm not afraid of anyone. My name is Arnold Savage. That's why
Arnold.
I
Oh
say
no, I
A
just wanted to
Savage.
know how you wanted to be addressed. My name is Sky.
Madam Sky. Thank you.
Not
It
Madam
says
Sky.
Madam.
It's Sky. Just Sky. So nice to meet
Yeah,
you,
you have to
gentlemen.
excuse
There
me
we
for
go.
my formalities.
It's
Thank you for
okay.
that.
We shall continue.
Sky. Well, I'm reading something different on the screen on the
Oh,
Zoom.
Tarrant guide. It doesn't say Madam.
Again, that's why I started out with excusing myself for my
It's
formalities.
all good. It's all good.
I'm a southern guy raised in L.A., but my roots are 10 toes down, really 20 pieces, toes and fingers, all the way from the earth of Mississippi.
I hear
So
you. But please let me
often,
not interrupt what you were saying. I'm sorry.
and I appreciate your input in that. But I'm going to cut it short just by saying, really, is all we all have to do is stop outsmarting ourselves with the Trump stuff. Look into it. He's always shown that he loves black people and that black people have never been afraid of him. You look into uh, uh, what we commonly call flat Earth, but I try to stay away from that because respect to all of us, the Earth ain't flat. You look at the Grand Canyon, you look at Mount Everest and everything in between, Death Valley. But I do understand that it is a stationary,
Smoke,
immovable realm.
smoke.
And through that, I'd like to
You
say,
know what? I'm feeling good today. I'm gonna give him a pass too. I'm not gonna bring him no smoke, right?
Oh, you
Everybody,
gonna let him
you know
live?
what?
You gonna
I
let him
got Pat
live?
right. I'm gonna
All
let
right,
him
all right,
live like God, right? I'm gonna let him live. Hey,
thank you for granting me that grace,
nah,
all right. My
Brother
bad, bro. You know I'm
Sanchez.
ready. Just
yeah.
let me know.
Now
Oh,
that
you talking
don't
about the
mean
mute guy?
anybody else on the panel might not give you none, but you're good with me.
Yeah, but all in all, is when we talk politics and we're talking about what's happening in the system and with the money back and forth about Doge and these things and Elon Musk and who and what he is, all these things that anyone can postulate is true. But the fact of the matter is, what do we know? What do we see? And they're going through something that's been going through the ages. Ross Perot, I'm that old. Ross Perot was talking about how the government is screwing us and wasting money on $1 million toilets and sex changes and things
Can
like
I
that.
can I ask you a question?
Sorry, excuse me.
Can I
Yes,
ask
sir.
you a quick question? You know,
Yes, sir.
I do understand what they're doing with Doge, with auditing these government departments for these millions that's missing. But at the same time, what about the billions we're putting into Israel every year? Because my thing is, if a man owe me $10 billion, I'm not gonna hound a man that owe me a few hundred, a few million. Like they're trying to make us think they're doing something for us by hounding, squeezing the few little pennies that's missing from the cashier clerks at the fast food restaurant. When the CEO of the restaurant stealing on a bigger level, but they said we auditing the cash registers, all you cash clerks, and that's kind of how I see this situation with the Doge auditing and all that. That's me personally, but you got.
As I would offer you, not even a response, I would offer to say to you that I agree with you, and they both exist at the same time. You understand what's going on over there in this fictitious? I mean, the lunacy. This is what I'm saying. Tell a baby the middle of the East. What is that supposed to mean? You know what I mean? Versus telling a baby, this is the plate of, I'm not trying to avoid words. Let's say the plate of Africa. This is the plate of Africa. This is what they call Israel, Gaza, Palestine, and all these things. This is the land canal, the land bridge between what we know as, and again, Asia,
So
not Europe.
may I introduce? So what I heard you say is, do you have an issue with the placement and of the area being called Middle East because it just seems illogical to you? Because I've never heard
Correct.
that
Thank you for
perspective.
saying
Okay.
illogical. Thank you for
Okay.
saying illogical. That's why I said explain it to a baby. You understand? This is the land bridge between what has been historically known, and I'm not as deep. I don't know the history as someone like Sanchez or maybe even yourself, Madam. Or excuse me.
Well,
I don't know. I
Sanchez
don't know the
did.
history like it. But what I will say is this: is that it's not like the continent of Europe, false concept. Middle East, false concept. Shaking, moving, whirling ball, false concept. Donald Trump hates black people, false concept. Kamala Harris is for the cause, false concept. And
Listen,
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
saying,
be honest with you.
yes, sir.
I don't really care if he hate black. You don't really gotta hate a person to love your people so much that you just don't care what happened to them to make things right for yours. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now, as a parent, right? If it come down to your child versus your neighbor's child, see what I'm doing? You don't gotta hate your neighbor, but don't you love your child? And guess what? You probably say, man, I ain't got no problems with my neighbor, but Lord, I'm choosing my baby over theirs. Give me mine. I don't hate my neighbor, but I love mine. And that's what I'm saying. So the conversation of whether Trump hate blacks or not versus whether he's working for us or against us, that's what we need to go into. I don't
I love
care if
what
he
I
you're
hate
was
me or
saying.
gonna
not. Is he working
I'll
for me
sign
or
off.
against
I'll
me?
sign
Yeah.
off.
I was
So
gonna
I'll
add
sign
on to
off and thank you all for your time. What you just said, Sanchez, is exactly one of my base philosophies. Start your love and build and grow from within. I can't help it, and I'm gonna sign off. Thank you all. I'm still here with y'all, but thank you for the
Okay.
time.
Appreciate
And
it.
yeah, one love.
I'm gonna respond to that baby on the map thing. So a baby will pull up the map because a baby, is a child and a kid that looks into common sense based things with things. And I looked at it from my childlike point of view, and the Middle East is connected to Asia, Europe, and Africa at the same time. So it has no bound of anchorism into being like a full-blown continent, but it has many countries and it's connected to 3 continents. That's a very special place called the Middle East for some reason. That's great to look into, but I'm just letting you know, maybe Mr. Savage, you can look at the map and answer your own inner child asking that question, because that was a really good question and you made me look at the map. So maybe now you can look at the map with your eye, and now you might actually come up with the answer for yourself. So thank you for that.
If I may, before I jump off, thank you for that. But may I point out what I took and digested from that? Maybe not exactly what you were saying, but what I took and digested was you started off with the map. One of the premises is which map. The second thing is you counted Europe as a continent. I stated part of my thesis statement was Europe is absolutely not a continent. So what we've called the Middle East is what I, in my opinion, as I've stated, and I appreciate what you said too, but without that third continent being Europe, it's a land bridge between two continents.
Well, what is Europe to you? Well, what is Europe to you then? If it's not a continent, what do you consider that land as?
Fictitious. I'm old enough to remember there was no such continent taught in school or anywhere else of a continent named Europe.
Okay,
that's just
like I can't refute that with what you're saying from your own experience. So I will not. It's not a conflict thing either. I'm just listening to what you're saying. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you all for the exchange. This is uplifting. Appreciate you. And long live LA, West Side.
Okay.
No, you think I'm too old for that, but I'm having fun. Thank you all for your time.
Just call Europe Los Angeles. Call it the second Los Angeles. It's fictitious Hollywood, right?
Well, it's on the record. You can go back and track when they started calling Europe a continent. And before they called Europe a continent, it was actually called Eurasia. And then before Eurasia,
see, now you're getting into okay, that's different because I am
we're talking
to remember in school learning that Europe was a continent, at least from my teachings. But if you want to go back to like Eurasia, like that's different. That's like a whole process of learning, throughout the ages. That's different.
I submit that we're all along between yourself, myself, and Brother Sanchez. I really believe we've all been talking the same language. We've been working hard to disagree because, again, the academia presented it before it was Europe and Asia. Academia presented it as Eurasia. And then before it was presented in academia as Eurasia, it was presented as Asia. And then there was North, East, South. I mean, I can keep going on about it. And then, but then, if I just to bring it into reference for quick understanding, taking it back on the timeline, that's where the designation, before it was ever a racial slur, a pejorative or derogatory term, that's where the Orient came from. Because the Orient is what we know as Japan and the coastal areas of China and all of this. But all of everything from, what is that, the Indian Ocean all the way to the Atlantic was known as Asia. That's academia, not me. That's academia. Check your history books, your school books, almanacs, encyclopedias, it's all there. And excuse me for referring to the same stuff I'll use to argue against your point, and to that, because we all have the same.
I stepped away for a minute. Sorry about that. Yeah. I hope the bill. Listen, I want to do one thing before we move forward. I want to say salutes to Sister Sky from Lucid Living TV. Her link to her channel is pinned to the top. Y'all go ahead and sub up because we're going to have collaborations. That's something I want to do on my channel. So I appreciate the bill. We finna keep it going because we got people in the back too that y'all can't see. And I'm going to drop the link again. And we're going to keep this going to around about, another hour. I could go for about another hour. It's up to y'all. And yeah, Matt Savage, we didn't hear from him, did he? We got ain't no topics off limits, y'all, So, Matt Savage, yeah, you got it. Go ahead. Okay, well, listen, we'll skip Matt. It don't matter, Matt. We got a lot of people on here. Matter of fact, Q, what's good, Negro? Welcome back, man.
What's good, broski? What's the word, G?
You already know. You know we got to do that other FBA stream over there, man, and bring that smoke with that. You know that's coming. So
And finna
yeah,
say they ass gonna be on one with me when I do that shit. You already know,
yeah,
cause
hell
we
yeah.
kind of was lighting fire to that ass the other night.
Hell yeah, keeping the foot on their neck with it, man. Yeah, but I'm gonna turn it over to your brother. You got it. You talk to him, man. Whatever on your mind.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I just been looking all this at this stuff with Trump and all of what they doing, and my sentiment still is the same. Of we got so much attention and work and conversation for somewhere else, and ain't nobody doing shit here. And then you just keep looking at all the natural disasters like the tornadoes, the fucking floods, the fires, all of this
them
shit,
fires, yeah.
and we know damn well FEMA ain't doing shit. Ain't like we know consciously right now they ain't did shit from the last shit then hit. So they ain't finna do shit for this. And to know that y'all, while this is happening, is going over the other countries talking about we sending all type of shit is
Yeah.
crazy.
You know that insurance, and that's enough. Hey, what part of LA you in, Sky? You in Southern?
Downtown Los Angeles, like just DTLA city. Yeah.
It's crazy because
Yeah,
man,
we didn't have the fires over on our side, so I haven't personally seen the devastation from fires except for on TV. So I have not been to the areas that were impacted.
On the good side.
that's crazy because that insurance bailout really pissed me off, man. They let all them insurance companies just back the hell out right before them fires, and them people don't get their money back or nothing like that. Right there, you just lose everything, and then you gotta accept the voluntary buyout program where these people houses was worth millions. The government give you 15,000, and that's it. You tell you to get the step, and that's crazy. That was crazy to me, man. These are land grabs, man. These are big land grabs. But let me see who else. Who is knowledge? Oh snap, knowledge. I like the way you spelt that. What's good, knowledge?
None, none much. I've been waiting to ask you a question, really, to the panel to see if anyone will want to challenge what I'm about to say right now.
Okay.
My thing about it is, when we talk about black people and stuff like that, I feel like people have it to where, say if, okay, to the brother who said he was born in Mississippi, say if you was born in Germany, would that make you a German? And to your understanding, most people will say, yeah, I'm German now. I'm not American. But really what that says to me is people are exchanging what we call races for cultural differences or cultural dimensions. So I could be the same nigga I am born and raised in Texas. And if I was the same with the same parents I have right now, if I was born in Germany, shit, Russia, anywhere like that, you feel me? I'll still be the same nigga I am now. But if I have a different cultural upbringing, then that would mean that I'm a different type of black person. So I just wanted to try to put that out to the air without saying too much, because I feel like that's one thing that we get confused is being like, we confuse our cultural differences compared to our genetic makeup. You feel me? Like, shit, it don't matter if I was born in Africa or not, I'm still a nigga. It doesn't matter
I
if I
see
was
what you're saying. Just because it don't matter where you born, that don't got nothing to do with your genetics, and that's kind of the bottom line of what he's saying.
Yeah, but we classify black people like that all the time. Like y'all were just talking about Jamaicans and Africans and Haitians and Native Americans, and you feel me? But I just want to put that out there that sometimes the geography doesn't change necessarily your genetic makeup. That's all I want to put out there.
Facts.
Right, like I was saying, Elon Musk was born in South Africa, but he's anti-African like South Africa don't even like him. You know, so that's a good point. Who else we got here, man? I think that's pretty much all of the callers. I'll start wrapping it up then, man. We probably end up wrapping it up a little earlier, but you know what I'm saying? This is
Could
gonna
I
be
add
a
something?
yeah, I ain't rushing nobody. Go ahead,
Sorry
man.
about
Y'all
that.
don't have any questions for Scott?
I ain't got a question, but I will say the chat was tearing that ass up. I don't know if y'all seen the chat, but they was like, Sky, what the fuck you talking about? We did not know what was going on. We was lost to the motherfucker for a second. So I kind of jumped in on like an hour late. I ain't
On
know
what
what the
part?
fuck was going on.
On what part?
Oh boy.
On what part?
I kind of jumped in like an hour late. So then when I jumped in, she had the hoodie on. And I'm just looking at the chat. Everybody was like, man, why she on here? She pretty, but we don't know what the hell she talking about. And I'm like,
Wait, hold
if
on,
I
hold
could
on.
get up there and just tell you, I feel like you need to be clearer to the chat because they just more so looking at the fact that you're pretty and not really
Listen,
understanding.
hey, watch this, right? I'm gonna
I
give
missed the whole
y'all.
conversation. I'm so sorry. Yikes. I walked away and that's okay.
Oh, okay. Let me know if you want me to fill you in on it, Sky, or whatever. You know, it ain't no biggie. This
No,
is
you
no
guys can
sweat.
continue. I came in when I came in. I heard what he said and okay.
You want to respond to it?
No, I can't see the chat, so I don't know what people are saying.
Right. And I'm glad you can't. I'm glad you can't see the
Me too.
chat.
Okay.
Me three.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you something about the chat since you weren't looking at it. The chat was like 60-40. A lot of the people like, I love her, you know, most of them is on your side, but a lot of them is like what she say. And then one thing you gotta realize, sometimes people have that Kanye West effect to where y'all just ain't, it's their vibe, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, you got to really peep different people energy and stuff like that, and just let and then just analyze the situation and say, okay, that's Sky right there. I see where her
that is
frequency
perfectly
is.
fine with
Boom, you know what I'm
me,
saying?
you know, and sometimes you get it later, sometimes it doesn't vibe at all, and that's okay. And I've definitely learned how to just, you know, speak my language the way that I do. And you know, whoever gets it, gets it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm never here to offend or make people feel bad with anything that I say. I'm always coming from a point of wisdom, but I do feel that I can go a little ahead of myself in my wisdom to the point where it's almost like a dog whistle sometimes, where only dogs can hear the whistle and then others can't, but they know it's it. So then it's like I can't like it would take too much time for me to break things down any simpler unless I had like a class out and people were paying me to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Scott, this is Matt Savage. Can I raise a
Hey, she just
Yeah, sure.
okay,
point
there
real
you
quick?
go.
Yes, go ahead.
So earlier you mentioned just a slight perspective, and I'm pretty sure that you didn't get a chance to fully vet your perspective on the Gaza situation. I want to reference you to a gentleman who kind of was kicked out of Australia, ran from Australia, and he's been floating around, but he had friends over in Gaza, and he's been doing videos on what's really happening over there. His name is Max Egan. Real good edited
Think
videos.
I heard of him.
He's a real good editor on his videos, and he liked to show exactly what is actually taking place. I want to reference you to some of Max Egan videos. If you get a chance, just check them out.
Max Egan?
Max, MaxIGAN.
IGAN. I will
Yes, ma'am.
look into
Ain't
that.
he like, isn't he like a biblical flat earther or something like that?
He's
Or
definitely a flat earther. He's definitely a flat earther. He got some outside the box perspectives, but specifically this Gaza situation is what he's been kind of just been floating over his, because he had friends over there, and the atrocities that are what taking place to kids, you know, the mass graves and the assault on babies on video, and then the comedy skits and the pissing on, you know, it ages you.
Yeah.
When you find out the atrocities, and then the perspectives that the media, the controllers of the media are able to kind of, you know, give America, and America take it hook, line, and sinker, because you have people of power that support the media, like your President Trump and that whole tirade, you know. So I mean, it's like I said, you know, once you realize what's really happening over there, it'll age you. And
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're so into America, you fail to realize what else is really happening out there. So sometimes I could be even one of those people that feel far removed from that until
We
I
all
hear
are.
about it.
We all are. We all are.
But
It's American supremacy. I mean, that's because there's a lot of stuff that I like about America.
It's America comfort too, that when you're in a comfort zone, why would you naturally want to place yourself outside of that, right?
100%.
But of course it still shows up. And then so when these videos are happening and these reports are happening and they're very true, now outside of comfort zone starts to come in, and it's just like, oh wow, this is really what's happening outside of me and inside of me, because we're all connected.
But watch this. Don't take what I'm saying is correcting a perspective that you have, because it's important. It's a dichotomy. You got to have both
Oh
of
yeah,
them,
I don't have a
because you're
perspective because
pro-America.
I don't know what's going on
Right.
that level to speak too much on it. So I'm actually just listening as you guys are speaking on it, because I don't really know much about it. I've been one of those far removed people because I haven't been watching the news and keeping up with that kind of stuff yet. But
hold on. No, I was just finna interject real quick and ask the brother, was he's done after this, because I had a question that I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm mute up.
Appreciate you too, Matt. Taryn, this is what I was going to ask you, because you said that you were part black and part white, and I forgot to ask you this. This is a very important question. I see in the the pro-black community, if you have a mixed person like yourself, they will try to make you choose a side to where you can't say, well, I love my white side and my black side. They will try to make you like choose either the black or white side. Do you get into all that, or how do you deal with that?
Thank you for asking that question. And that has been an issue, but it's not an issue for me because I don't have a problem with being black. So if a black person says black girl or black, I know, you know, but I get to still explain myself and say, yes, I'm mixed with black. I don't say it because I feel like it makes me seem better. Oh, I'm Swedish and Ethiopian, Jamaican, and I don't care about sounding exotic. It doesn't give me any more value. Right. It doesn't actually. Now, there are certain mixed people that try to pass. Like literally, like we're still back in the day, try to pass as a white girl.
Oh yeah.
They are mixed and they hate when black people call them black. Like that's different. I always say my features are not like white. I am ambiguously light skinned and I got a Brooklyn accent and whatever, you know, but I love my features. I love my ethnicity. I love my backgrounds. And but I do have an issue with people placing, now if we want wordplay, the be black behind black against me. So if people want to use the word black as a black person derogatory against me, because black people do that with each other with the word black, by the way, that's where I have an issue. But I've learned how to just not respond to that and just say, yup, I'm black. Next, you know, with confidence. Like, don't try to lower black me because you's a black person trying to clean up your shit and you trying to be like on the other side that's against your side. Don't do that to me, because I'll just take it, accept it, and still be who I am, you know. But when I'm speaking with black people, it's just like black, yes. But then what I get sometimes is black girls, especially, sometimes I still deal with it. They don't see me as themselves. And there's still that lower level argument on the inside where I'm just that light-skinned girl that thinks she's better than everybody. And they don't know anything about me. And that makes me sad. But I even had somebody back in the day when I first started doing the natural hair videos literally say, cry your light-skinned tears. Nobody cares. And she was a black girl. She was just basically saying, we don't care about your light-skinned sadness, you know, because I've been through more than you. And that's another part of the lower level black community that I can't really resonate with. But I'm just saying I love being who I am and I have no problem being considered as black at all.
And now, you know, this is finna really segue into a deep build, because you going into the colorism problem even among black people, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, for example, I'm gonna bring up one of my favorite shows, Martin. Now you look like Gina.
Gina, I've been told that all my life.
Now, you know they had Pam on the show. She's like the dark skinned chick, and then you got the Gina that's like, you know. Yeah. So that was another like colorism thing. Like, so what do you think? Because did you get that a lot coming up, like where the dark skin?
No, I didn't see Gina and Pam like that in my eyes. It was because for some reason, like I think it was placed like Michigan, Detroit, or something. The show Martin, it was somewhere in Detroit, right? Somewhere. And like I'm a New Yorker, so it's like the cousin of like just Chicago area, that area. The way of living is there's always a light skin and dark skin friend. That's how I grew up. Like it was always
You
that
don't
dynamic,
think that they
especially in
tried
the
to
90s.
make? You don't think they tried to make Pam like the loud, ratchet, dark-skinned
Yes, they
woman,
did.
and Gina like the
No,
quiet?
first of all, they made Pam the attractive, dark-skinned one with the nice ass that
But this is what
everybody
I say about
wanted.
that,
What the
sister,
fuck,
right?
Pam?
Now, you're right, but check it out, right? That was definitely true, but back in the 90s, because red bones and light skins was so in and dark skin hadn't yet come into the fruition that it came to once that conscious shit hit, everybody thought Gina was bad as hell when we were shorties. But once we got grown, at least my age group, we look back at Pam like, damn, nigga, we was missing out.
And that's fair enough. I ain't got nothing to say about that. That is fair enough. Preference is preference, attraction
It's
is
like
attraction.
they both good, but you looking back at it like,
Yeah.
damn, the colorism that they had us on
Okay,
back then,
I get what he's saying.
that's
Yeah.
not even peeping. Yeah.
Right. You couldn't even see it then because it was so like jaded with the narrative.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah. So
Hey, bro, Sanchez, this is Matt Savage. Before you cut this thing, your video, I just want to make a quick point. Arnold Savage, if you still in the chat in the video, I think we might be cousins.
Oh snap! We do got two Savage is rare, man.
Yep. And
Man,
I remember I had a cousin.
noticed your name, but I didn't even know that.
Yeah, brother. And I think I remember my auntie. My auntie used to tell me about an Arnold Savage, older Arnold Savage in the family that was like a pretty well-known person.
You're talking about senior, you see. My daddy.
I think we may be family, brother.
Yeah, look at this. This is crazy.
What'd he say? I can't hear you.
Where's your location?
I'm in. Here's the deal. But my family is out of Arkansas, and you said you out of Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
And I got family in Tennessee too.
Oh, y'all family.
Yep.
Y'all
So that
family,
family.
man.
Yeah.
Y'all family, man.
Yeah, that's hopping in. Yeah, that's all in the same southern area, brother.
Arkansas, Mississippi, that's the same state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I ask it? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
for sure. No, it's your show.
I just want to know, because I'm not in the chat. Are there any ladies in the chat? Are there any feminine energies that I can connect with?
Right, man.
That's
like, come on, man.
Where my girls at? Like, where my girls at?
Yo, let me drop the link
That's
again.
an issue too. I'm having that issue.
Like the guys, they didn't understand what you were saying. We didn't understand what you were saying. I ain't
hold on. No, this is what we about to do. It was a Q. It was a bunch of chicks in the chat. Like, I've been subbed to her. I didn't think, this duo would ever come and stuff. A bunch of folks was like, yo, I've been subbed to her.
You definitely had the people that right. You know what I'm saying?
So,
100%. It's just once I don't know, because I didn't start from the beginning. I had joined in after an hour. And when I joined the chat, it was all like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We can't understand what she's saying, bro. You need to end the show.
And that was just you gonna have like 2, 3, 4 trolls every show though, You gonna
granted, now I'm like, look, out of all fairness, to be honest, I couldn't understand what you were saying either. I'm just trying to stick around long enough to get the point.
You got caught up in the Trump conversation. That was not the juice of everything.
Yeah,
we had so many other conversations. Now,
did you sub that channel? My bad. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What I can reiterate on, and if I'm gonna leave this show soon, I'm just gonna round this out of my whole entire message for people coming in a little late. I have my own channel called Lucid Living TV. My passion is I have recognized that there has been a war against soulful, attractive, artful people, any race, but with the soul, right? By another force that is alien that I do believe has been attacking us through AI technology, through false programming, because they have been taking the data from our thought process into a cloud and then raining upon their own edited version of our thoughts. And then we wake up doing things as if we are literally possessed by something that is making us sabotage ourselves, fight ourselves, become autoimmune to each other, more conflict, less love, because these entities, they are not human, guys, but they are walking around in human bodies. And they are coming through holographic form technology. They are not born from wombs. They did not get a
She's
passageway
right.
from in the afterlife, because there are some souls that do deserve to come back as 21 years old. They don't need to start over at one from a baby, because that's torturous to the wise soul that has work to do, like a Tesla. Tesla will not come back as a baby. He might come back as a 16-year-old teenager through holographic technology and form from the afterlife point of view, where he has a passageway to show up at a party and still have his passport. And
Mic drop.
escape.
Mic
Now,
drop.
that's what
Now
I'm
this
here
is
for.
all facts.
So these
Yo.
motherfucking aliens have been literally trying to kill babies, dogs, children, sex, love life, attraction, and anything beautiful, because they want to create a world full of gray, ugly, disgusting misery that will eventually make them happy. I'm saying let's fight these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, you right. Hey,
So
listen.
Matt, I hope now you know what I'm talking about.
Nah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's what I'm here for.
100%.
Seriously, they are bad entities, yo. They are worse than the worst that I've ever experienced. I've seen the end of the world. They try to lock us in these cubes in like a
Actually,
30
yeah, you know what?
30-second
On the
loop.
same subject of what we talking about, man, it was something that I had seen recently. I guess Sanchez too, along the lines of some of the shit that we be saying, but it was detailing the motherfucking archives that kind of run this shit over the ice wall and all kind of shit. I'm gonna send you the video when I get a chance for you to review. You will be able to dissect the shit out of that and really get a lot of good content from it.
I really do. Listen, guys. I'm gonna say something real quick, right? I really fucking believe that there's a whole nother group of species of humans that look like us, they smell like us, they sweat like us, but they ain't us.
No,
they
they're
ain't
not.
born of a woman. I really do believe this, yo. I believe this is facts. And I got so many theories on how they spawn into being.
Yep.
And the holographic one is one I was thinking about too. Like, yeah. This sister know what she talking about, yo. I told y'all go
No,
sub up.
it's
real.
scary, because I've had visions in real lucid dreams where I have hovered over and seen them take people's consciousness from the crown of their head, try to lock them in 30-second loops of horror, and sentence them to that jail for like 5,000 years. While now, when that body wakes up in the morning, they now have an occupancy, or they're renting that vessel out now, like a empty cedar vessel. Now, after that soul has literally been snatched up in dream state and is in hell for 5,000 years, when they didn't deserve that. They only did that because they're trying to literally colonize the vessel. And this shit is horrible and terrorizing. And everybody that's dying today, every time I look at TMZ, somebody died. How many people died in the last 2 weeks? 38 years old, 40 years
And
old.
they want real estate of the mind. Yeah.
They're snatching these people up, and there's something going on with afterlife stuff that is not valid, and it is very unfair. They are torturing everybody. I wrote something in my notes, and I wasn't going to say this. Whether y'all believe this or not, I'm like a medium sometimes. I don't try to be. So the artist Prince literally spoke to me and said one thing, and I want to just pull that up real quick. He said, an empty cedar is spiritual because they have no soul. It's survival for their emptiness, and that's not our problem. They know. Let's let them know that we know. And what he let me know, Prince, like Mr. Nelson, and my family name is Nelson on the Swedish side. Mr. Nelson told me his death, he has been running through fucking caves in the afterlife trying to save his soul. He is tired of running. He has been in horrible semi-slavery since he's died. And he's saying that there's a whole fucking afterlife of people. Quincy, everybody that's just dying now, they are literally like lost. And it's not fair because they set up people like Quincy Jones. He has his legacy set. He should be able to rest in real peace. Soon as Quincy transfers over, there's this weird fucking monster that literally can
I ain't
take
gonna lie.
Quincy
I ain't
and
gonna lie.
fucking
That nigga
place him
Quincy
somewhere he
got a
doesn't
lot of dirt
belong.
on this name. He phone the Mike got what he got coming to him. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I don't know. I don't get
can't
into
say for
those
sure
kind
because
of
I can't speak
conversations.
for
I'm
another
not.
nigga sins.
I'm
But
not
if
in the
we just
judge.
going by the music industry and what everybody that done
No,
dealt business
I'm
with the
talking about a
nigga, it's like
person.
Scott, let me ask you a question. Scott, how do you determine the difference between, say, for example, like a prince speaking to you or a familiar spirit speaking to you? And that's my first question. And then the second part of the
because
question
they don't just, he doesn't just, my portals are very strong. So if I'm looking at an Instagram and Prince pops up, there will be a semi-quantum communication from his actual, I believe, and I feel and sense and have a right to say, from his communication because he had an opportunity to communicate with me from Instagram. Not from like my mind saying, I'm
Gotcha.
talking to Prince. And
Gotcha.
then it ends. Like I don't
Gotcha.
have a relationship with, you know what I mean? Thank you
Gotcha.
for asking that.
You saying that their soul been locked into a quantum state.
These like weird
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's,
yeah. From that thing
yeah,
that they
yeah,
took in. I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
They play them
Okay,
in,
I
they
see.
place them in AI jails.
Yeah, I got you.
They've
Got you.
had this on like Black Mirror, this concept
You
where
should go into detail, just a
I was
small
just
bit of
finna
like
say
the
this is
method.
this concept. I was just finna say that this is like in a lot of sci-fi movies. Yeah, but go ahead.
hell yeah, Black Mirror. I've seen exactly what you're talking about
I
with
don't.
that, so I
I
know
haven't seen Black
exactly
Mirror.
what
What
you.
happened? What's the
They,
concept?
they
Well, let me
basically use your
okay. Yeah,
frequency of
go
your
ahead.
soul and harness it in technology to be able to keep you in a hologram, but consciously.
yeah, and do
Because
whatever they want to you. Chop your head off a million times so you could feel it. And they'll take
Wow.
like 2 hours to do it, real nice and slow.
Wow.
You get to repeat it over and over and over again. And
yeah,
Don't sleep with
hey,
that cell phone by your face.
this is what hell is. This is
yeah,
really what hell. And I think that brain computer interfaces is the gateway to everything y'all saying now. But that's a
Y'all
whole
ever
nother topic.
Yep. Nah, no bullshit, bro. BCI is the gateway to hell.
have y'all seen Cell Phone or Cell? It's called Cell.
What's up, Charlie?
it's a movie called Cell.
Cell is where the cell phones, when a person put the phone up to their ears, and it happened on the global scales. When you put the cell phone up to your ear, the cell phone released some kind of frequency that sent everybody into a zombie-like state.
What? Okay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a good one. It's a
Yeah,
real
these,
good
these
one.
portals are real and they're opening
It's a
up
real good
wide
one.
because we're here in planetary alignment. All portals are treated equally, even the horrible ones. Like your phone is like, I it's not dangerous to me because I control my algorithm. I tell AI what I like and AI feeds it back to me. So I like my experience on AI. There are some people that they literally eat shit on fucking social media and they receive it back. It's because they have no interest. They just zombie like watch TikTok and they zone out to where they're not creating an experience with the algorithm. They are letting the algorithm form from this weird state of mind, and that literally creates their matrix, and then they turn into like these things instead of people sometimes.
And
Adding to that
and I
point
think
too.
and one thing I'll say, and I think that the algorithm, people may say, well, it's good, it's bad. I think that the algorithm is like a mirror that'll show you what the hell you are, because it's like you can do what you want on this. Whatever you want to do, the algorithm gonna help you do it 10 times better. So if you want to hurt yourself, it's gonna help you do that 10 times
You're
better
right.
too.
Yeah.
But if you want to help yourself, my thing is we in a time now with AI where we can blame AI and we can. There's a lot to blame on AI that's messed up and why we don't need it. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be here. They gonna manifest it as part of the reality. And the question is, what does it mean for you and me? I don't think that it mean much for a cat like me, because at the end of the day, I believe we being tested to be able to utilize things but not rely on them. And I think that's gonna determine who make it or not moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Who keep
Going back
their
to that, going back
go
to
ahead.
that point too with Cell and everything. Uh, it goes back to 2030. Them wanting us to own nothing and be happy, right? They wanna slowly mineralize all lands. They're slowly industrializing all of America, and they want to mineralize all the oils, all the minerals. And it goes back to you know, the 2030, them wanting us to own nothing and be happy. With this in mind, they want to get rid of all nations not dependent on factories, not dependent on dams, not dependent on oil rigs. So it also goes back to, like, Mexicans, they brought them here, and then, they brought them here during a time where the economy was kind of weak. They're building CERN, they're doing all this crazy stuff underground, building biological weapons just in case this happens. They got all these protocols. They're building every weapon in case of different scenarios. So it also goes back to, like, we're also being demonized to China and Russia. So if we're being demonized to China and Russia with our media, China and Russia looks at us and they're like, man, I do not want their celebrities influencing my kids, things of that nature. So if they say, hey, we're going to war with America, they're ready to boot up. They're ready to go. There's a lot of people in China and Russia, even in 2020, they spoke out. They were being jailed. They're being different things like that. So even now in America, we still think that we can talk about this, but we're talking about stuff and they're seeing how we feel about it. But by 2030, they want us to own nothing and be happy. And going back to China and Russia, it goes back to Mexico.
Let me ask you something, John Smooth.
Let's say China and Russia knocks out our grid.
Okay, go ahead.
We wouldn't have any allies versus them because Mexico, they're agile as hell. We would need Mexico to go against China and Russia. Just thinking about it on a government level, we would need them. And that's why they're getting rid of them now. They brought them here. They got them to build cities. Even the wildfires, right? They started the wildfires. And looking into that, by 2028, they literally want the Olympics at LA. So we got to look at everything in a
In
sense of
Southern
what
Cat
do they
and
want to do with
look,
the land? What
you
weapons do
talking
they want to
about
build with what land? Yeah.
talking about the smart city project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me, can I get let me impart something in on you, brother, real quick to give you some peace about the reference about Mexicans. Let me tell you something. This is just numerical fact, just using numbers. Okay. Listen, if Biden administration, we're just going to be cut and dry. We're going to take some of the media posts, and then I'm just going to tell you numerically, factually, what can't possibly happen. It's numerically impossible to remove a people from a place once they there. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Let me give an example. 30 million Mexicans came over. We're just going to say 30. A lot more came over. We're going to say 30. 30 million Mexicans came over, right? In the last 4 or 5 years. How many have they deported up to this point? 200, 300, 400, 500? You ever try to count to a million? It's impossible. It's numerically impossible. You know how much that costs? You know how many plane flights that
Hey,
they've
you know
already...
what? So now you kind of proving to me why
It's kabuki
deportation
theater.
is just an antic.
It's kabuki theater.
It's an antic. It's like that's one thing we gotta realize about politicians. They do things too that's deceptive. Like
Correct.
they will make you think that, well, look,
Correct.
this, like, bro, if y'all were, but that's what I was saying too, bro. Like, people are saying, well, when they get the immigrants out of here, it's gonna give black people back the jobs. And I'm like, Elon about to replace the whole workforce with AI. So if that's what you talking about with
Correct.
jobs,
Correct.
you could throw that out the door because
Correct.
they don't need the immigrants to pick fruit no more. They got
Nope.
robots that can
Nope.
pick corn,
Or
robots that can pick. Yeah, they about yeah.
Well,
Serious.
Sanchez, what if Elon is literally that dangerously amazing person? I love Elon, by the way. Anyway, what if he was the person that could click one switch and make everybody in America a robot in like 50% of their brain because he owns 50% of real estate.
Yeah, that's what their goal is.
That's
the
what
goal.
his
So
goal
I'm
is,
just
right?
saying.
That's the
So
goal. That's the
no,
goal.
wait.
Yeah,
So what I'm saying is you could use that 50% real estate because the brain was decaying, and Eli is saving your life by turning you into an AI that is way more human anyway and better, or he's allowing 50% of your brain to decay because COVID fucked it up.
Oh. Anyway, so let me touch on something real quick.
COVID was a crown virus.
Hey,
Crown virus.
shout out to
Great.
all my mods, Katrina, Von Hall, JJ, Eclipse. Shout out. I see y'all. What's good to the channel members? Go ahead, brother.
Because Eli might give you a job if you just a part of his crew.
Well, you got to remember they don't need the government employees no more. All right, and this is not to be too small thinking, but
I don't want to work for an
together.
NPC.
Well, we don't need no government employees because they walk paperwork. Like have you ever used LegalZoom? Once I learned about LegalZoom, I was like, I ain't never hiring an attorney to do shit for me no more. That's what AI is. AI is simple. Like,
I hear
you got to remember most of the government work. Well, think about when you go to the DMV to get a new license. Right? You stand in line all day just for them to take a picture of you. You like, dude, why? That's 4 of y'all back there. Why all 4 of y'all ain't? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it can be a positive. It can
you're right about the 50%. I think it's more like 75, 80% because it's everybody took, yeah, of course.
I think a lot of people lost their minds during a pandemic period. It was the end of the world. And their AI had to carry the rest of the mind state, and people started bugging out. And now some people are starting to neutralize and come back to being human, and others are gone completely. You might have a family member that was once one way before COVID, and now this motherfucker ain't never come back.
Oh, let me get you something you said,
He might be trying to kill you.
Scott, you said
trying to kill you. Like,
listen.
fuck out of here.
Scott, you said the cancers take over your body. That just happened to my dad. My dad died in last March. And because of his decision he made 5 years ago when all of that craziness was going on. And I distinctly remember a doctor said that in 5 years, that's when they're going to start dying off. 3 to 5 years is when they're going to start dying off. Anyway, long story short, he went to the doctor. The doctor said he has an aggressive advanced cancer. He had tumors on his lungs, tumors behind his liver, tumors behind his kidneys, more tumors than you can ever think of. And basically months, went from nothing to months and passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's unfortunate, and man, it was tough, man. But when you mention that cancer is all over the body, comment that you mentioned earlier tonight, man, I said, man, that girl's she knows exactly what she's talking about, because that damn show is what that shit does.
It's an entity. It's an entity that comes from the colon. I feel like we're in an elevator in our own bodies, and we are trying to get to the sacral chakra, which is love, success, creation. It is everything beautiful and golden, like the golden age is supposed to be. It's supposed to be loving and feeling just good again, like with music and art and everything, for people who have deserved that spot now, right? But the first stop on the elevator before sacral is what? Solar. It's the yellow, it's the gut, it's the colon. And that's where all of the waste that needs to exit the body stays and lives for a little while. There are entities that come from that frequency and actually can manifest into people. Like, it's some other shit. So they're from the colon. They come from shit, but they are not beetles. They're not sacred fucking Egyptian beetles, dung beetles.
So
These
you're
are other
saying
motherfuckers.
the shit that they were showing us in Osmosis Jones is on a whole nother spiritual level. Because I feel like people don't get into the biology of the spirit or the soul. You know what I mean? And we done talked about that. That's one thing Sanchez has said before, is like, it's another thing to talk about spiritual organs that aren't physical. All organs that you have that make up the body ain't physical. And I kind of feel like we miss on that a lot.
All organs of the body are not physical?
If we're in a holographic reality, I believe that physicality was one of the biggest lies they ever told us.
Wait, Sanchez, is the earth flat or are we just holograms? Which one?
I think that you can't have the concept of a holographic simulation is only possible with a flat earth, because think about it, right? If you ever play Grand Theft Auto, inside of this game, nothing is physical. It's holographic. It's computer codes, programming, but it's on a flat map. Now, this flat map can extend forever based upon how much space gigabytes, and that's memory, right? So, but my thing is, I tell people all the time, you got globe earthers that say we're in a simulation. And I'll be like, bro,
Oh,
you
but
can't
that don't make no
have a,
sense.
right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
good point that
No,
you
I
point
was just
out. Yeah.
saying. So how my theory with holograms are that they're not bad. It's not bad because hologram, like the movie Poltergeist, that's an example of static. It's just energy coming into a form of an imprint that does exist that now has a formulation slightly, though. It's not physical, but it's slight. The moment a flesh and grounded entity like a human looks at the hologram, sees it because it's not knowing that it's looking at a hologram, it sees a person. So the mind operates with the tech that says you're registered as a person now. So the hologram solidifies just from my eyesight. If I see a girl walking down the street, she didn't exist until I really fucking just saw her. And like some of these people are using our eyes to get my attention so that they can get birthed through. They're walking around here slightly invisible. They running out of gigabytes. They might go back to the prison in the astral form. God damn it, can somebody notice me? So they'll wear like a bright hat in their holographic form, and I'll see it, and it's dope. And all of a sudden, now they have a body, and now all of a sudden, they're flesh.
That is
We can make
crazy.
more.
And you know, that makes me think why so many people at the top paparazzi, you got to be seen because
Yes.
attention is a currency that if a person is a dark being with no light, then the light beings, when we look at them, we're just
Yes, we're
shining
giving
free
them
light
light.
on them. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like that's crazy.
And there
Man.
are people that are abusing that, and I'm starting to notice that because there's special beings that really have the ability to really give life into something that really wasn't alive. And like, but then what do they give back to us? They follow us around like parasites now because now it's temporary because they don't really have their own soul. Now there's a problem. Now you're bothering me. I just gave you a compliment. Now you're fucking with me. I can't get rid of you now because you need to be seen. And now you want to make me upset because now the opposition point, Tesla technology, AC, right? Opposition, you rub me the wrong way, you get more life. You rub me the wrong way, you look better. You rub me the wrong way, I start looking bad. Now I get sick, you feel better. I get poor, you get rich. That's fucked up. And I almost got caught up in that paradigm. I almost lost my life from giving life so much in a way that was so innocent. But like I started getting smart. Like I think I got abducted by aliens real quick, and then they brought me back, and they was just like, "You got to stop doing that."
I was gonna add on to that
They
point.
do kids.
In the Matrix, they show like our bodies being tethered, connected to a machine. But they want us to have that idea to manifest it. Like a lot of these sci-fi movies, they don't really have it yet, but they want us to manifest that technology. And I don't feel like they really have it. I feel like we're all tethered, connected to the light, the moonlight, the sunlight, and we're all different embodiments of the light. And we're all like a puzzle piece, right? We're all a different part of the whole, embodying, or like a satellite, right? It receives the waves from the source, and then it projects whatever waves is getting. We're all projecting the light right now as we speak. We're all in it. The planet itself is also in a young state. That's what we also got to understand. And these parasites, when they've been, doing vampire ways, drinking the blood of our leaders, and then making royal families with that blood of our leaders, this is evil. This is evil magic. And you know, these ways are dying out. We're gonna have to go back to coexisting with the planet to grow. We're not gonna literally, uh, keep, doing vampire trafficking to survive. We're gonna witness these technologies, these governments, that we're gonna witness it lose power, because a lot of the prophecies, it predicts, uh, light coming down. And they've tried to change this idea to where the light comes down and we think now we're connected to a machine, but we're connected to the light.
Well,
And yeah,
there are beings that become light that have literally, so I was talking about nebula creation, where literally energies swirling around gases and all kinds of chemicals in space literally like start dancing with each other, and like all of a sudden, like, because they hear music. So music is the God and frequency of everything. It is the God of God, because God said, let there be light, but where the fuck you get the sound from? You know what I'm saying? So the sound has to rule over. It is sound that rules over everything. And sound frequency can create a music for these celestial type gases that create stars that form into suns, that planets start forming because the sun was created type shit. So it's like, that's like inner light versus like waiting for light to shine on you. So you seem like, John, you're talking a lot about like indigenous culture, Mexicans, and people karmically like putting those people in debt. It's like, be the light again. And they can't, it's almost like having a defense system. Like, you see yourself as glowing from God's love, from your kindness, from your connectivity, that when they try to do that shit next time, it's like a feedback system. It says no. And that's like another kind of light that layers over the light. And now it's a whole other conversation about light, that you are really protected from the karmic debt of others that are dumping on you because of your DNA and absorption form and connection to the earth. They can't use you as a toilet. They got to take a shit, but ain't nowhere to take a shit. And that hurts, because when you're in a car and you're stuck in traffic and you got to go,
Feel like
I wish that on my worst enemy. I want my worst enemy
Daddy
to
on
get stuck in
Friday.
traffic, having the bubbles,
You be
bubble
like,
gut.
get the hell out of my way, Stanley. Nah, but nah, whole time though,
You
it's
ain't
just
gonna shit
really.
on me. Go ahead. I'm
And that
sorry.
shit I was watching about like the archons and the energies and the entities that you talking about too. All of that's mentioned in that shit that I was telling Sanchez about. And one thing that they mentioned in that was that the archons have been defeated twice before, which is why they have such a strong grip right now. They're not trying to take no third L.
When you talking about is that the demiurge, right? The archon demiurge is the same entities we're talking about?
Whichever archons run this
So
bitch, like
you know what?
they call them the
Okay.
Watchers, or they also call them they call them the Watchers, and they call them the janitors, or the custodians. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So they're not
So
the
they
same.
saying this race of beings and shit like that then been defeated by different Earth beings twice before.
Oh, so you're
One was,
saying,
I forget, there was a they said it was a different group, and then there was another one. But I don't these custodians or whatever they saying had also had a war with the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki be on bullshit too. But they say after the war with the Anunnaki, they decided to link up and join up with each other. So the Anunnaki joined up with these niggas to kind of help them get a stronger grip, because they kind of feed on some of the same energy.
okay.
Let me
You say that
And like
they
Sanchez be talking about, it also mentioned that true humanity originates from the celestial plane. And that's like worlds past, to talk about the worlds within world, how each barrier got different firmaments, and you can't go through these shits with technology. All of this shit is mentioned in the shit that I'm talking about. Like, I ain't even finished the joint, but when I say the shit was snapping off, like they on par, I'm like, I'm gonna send that shit to you, bro, whole time.
Sky.
Yes.
We got to
Have
expound on.
you ever heard of the term? And the term isn't exactly what the words is called, but it's a term called gang stalking.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I've heard of
I
that.
figured you did because you explained it. You explained it a little bit earlier. Basically, guys, what gang stalking is, and this is what I believe it is. A lot of it's so the entities, or the power, or the light, or the star is the correct term. That's the reason why Hollywood stole that term and they use it to explain nothingness that they call stars. But a real star is who you are talking about, and they know how to identify, and they will follow, and they will steal, rob, uh, commit grievances, whatever they can to tie a star to
Okay. So created as like an energy creation.
Wait.
Yeah.
They just want to wait, distract. They want to agitation. They want to weigh you.
I hear you.
And so
That's why the Egyptians to talk about being lighter than the feather. Go ahead,
Yes,
but you right.
yeah.
Yes, 100%. Because the less materialism that you tie yourself to. So it's easier to understand these things once you become free of certain practical
root chakra things,
primitive weights. That,
Okay.
let me give an example.
Root chakra, like Sanchez be talking about. You gotta have your heart chakra right.
Heart chakra for sure.
Depends on your weight in the afterlife or your spiritual weight.
Correct, but I'm trying to keep it practical. I'm trying to keep it in like how would it look on? So, for example, if you have the freedom to wake up in the morning and catch the sun before 8:30 in the morning, and right when it's coming over the horizon, you get to stare at it, like literally look right into it. And don't burn your eyes because those are alpha rays. Those ain't beta rays.
Okay. Okay, so listen, my thing with the sun would be like the point of staring at the sun.
Let me get there.
Can I just say this, man, and I'm gonna pause the mic. I think sun gazing is overrated. I know that's gonna be smoke, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. So check this out. When you have the opportunity to stare at the sun before 8:30 in the morning and get alpha rays before beta rays, barefooted, you hear yourself speak to yourself. I ain't talking about no weird beneficial bullshit. Listen, you can hear you stand there in silence and you'll learn what the sound of silence is. You ever heard that song? It may have been the Beatles who said, the sound of silence. You hear your fucking self speak to yourself louder than possible. Yourself will say weird shit like, you'll turn and you'll look, you say, that tree, look, man, I'm not preaching weird shit. I'm just telling you what happens. If you allow it to happen, you'll be like, oh, hey, my old friend. That's what yourself will say in your head, in yourself. And you'll feel euphorically to just go over and put your hand on the tree. It's earth. We're all part of it. And now I'm just going to let that be because no, I ain't telling you going to morph into some fucking Power Ranger. No, bro. But if you want to hear yourself, catch that sun at 8:30 in the morning before.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna tell you some real stuff, man. And I'm gonna only take like 2 minutes. Ever since I've been a little boy, I've been a loner. Like they would knock on my bedroom window. You gonna come outside, bro? I'm a poet. I would be in my room getting into vibes. I'm from Alabama. I was the only dude in my city listening to Black Thought and Most Def. They was listening to Pimp C and stuff. I was listening to all that. I had a diverse listen, man. I was winning English fairs and in young authors conferences and stuff when I was a boy. I've been a writer, and the reason that I've been a writer is part of my existence is live like that, bro. It's a quiet spot in my mind that I just wouldn't trade for the world. I had it since a little boy. It's a place I can go and write a poem. It's a place I can go and write a song. And that place within me been there since a little boy. If then nobody else want to play with me, I can go to this place and I can bring stuff out of my bedroom that'll make teachers say, wow, he's a genius.
Yes, sir. That genius. Bro, I was just like, that is the word you just pulled from me. I was vibing that word. That genius in you. Now listen, Scott, this is to you. That genius in you, that genius that Brother Sanchez just mentioned, that is what gang stalkers are in pursuit of. They have to weigh it out of you. It have to be weighed.
I know I'm being gang stalked.
That is free. That is free. That is the feather. That is the feather. That's the feather that this other brother just mentioned. But they have to weigh it. They weigh it out of you any way possible. But it's usually weighed through distractions, whether the distraction is made through, but all distractions come from the accumulation of fuck, what is that primitive word that It is from the accumulation of primitive shit on this plane. Like, what is it? Like cars and bills and things that just make you have to worry about primitive shit. Like,
yeah, exactly, because that matters to me. Like, I
materialism is the
want a
word.
car. Like, I come from high level cosmic shit in my head, right? But I still need a vehicle and got to pay that bill. So I hear what you're saying. Like, those grounded points, they distract you from having something as simple as $200 or some shit that like you still struggling and stuff, because they are gang stalking a strategy. And it is a project program that is a behind the scenes thing that's very real. They get rewarded and paid for fucking you up in like a weird way without touching you.
Psychologically.
Yes, and it is very real.
See this thing. I'm gonna say off what y'all saying, they gang stalking the shit out of me. I'm just a strong motherfucker that could take it, but
people don't know how big these cabals are and how many people are part of them. Like everywhere you go, you will be blackballed. Bro, look, I know I'm at a point in my life right now, like where if I don't have the support of the people, I'm blackballed. You reach a point where you've really became that guy to where okay, he's I know.
Oh wait, I need us.
Listen.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna be right for a second. I'm going to my right inning. No, I have to stop you guys from sabotaging with your own word. Sanchez, very smart man. You literally just set a narrative into the actual air and ether that everywhere you go, they're gonna blackball you. And you had your reasons, but you said it again at least 3 times. And then you had another man say, yes. Now, do you want that to be true?
No, it's not confirming that, though. He's high enough to understand it doesn't confirm that. Listen.
No, it doesn't matter. The ethers are so sensitive that it will take your literal sensation and word and to make it fucking true if you keep saying it. Even though you're trying to make a point. I'm not going to say that. Everywhere I go, I am not blackballed. I am accepted.
No. You can be accepted, but you still have to be
accepted. Me.
No. You are accepted, but you have to be relative. But you have to be aware.
I am.
Awareness is awareness of. Okay, so there's real sharks. And look. Remember, I started this topic by speaking about freedom. There are some people who have reached a point in freedom to where when I was talking to you about the staring at the sun and touching the tree and being barefooted, and that's not from a place of not having. That's from a place of having everything that.
No, I understand.
Let me tell you something. Money. The Bible speaks about this. Money answers all problems. I know you guys ain't familiar with that.
Amen to that. You know,
it does. So that's where it's coming from. But
I wouldn't say all problems.
I did not like Sanchez saying that everywhere he goes, he's going to be blackballed. I didn't like that.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But let me say this. There's an old saying about those who are awake and those who are very wealthy. They don't hang out with, you have to find them. You see what I'm saying? Like those who really know what's going on, they don't mingle. They don't hang out. You gotta find them. And the reason being is because, well, this is just a matrix, man.
Yeah, they surround themselves with likeness, and they are happy with their likeness that they surround themselves with.
You know what it is too? Motherfuckers want to be left alone, bro. Everybody really want us to just carve out a piece of earth for themselves.
Yes.
And they ain't got to worry about nothing that's harmful. Yes. They can just live. And it's like
people are problems.
Hold on a second. Let me holler at y'all out the queue. I just want to give a shout out to Devin Johnston. Thank you for being a channel member, Flat Power. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to Tracy Key. All right. Tracy Key said, talking to the Sister Sky, Tracy said, she is fun to listen to. She just gave me the energy I needed. Thank you, sis.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. Wow. I appreciate it.
Nah, for real. You kind of did it. The reason I say I'll point out, that's one of the reasons that people need good women in the space or whatever to kind of stop us from doing the shit that was just gonna happen. Because it's just
Thank you for recognizing that.
I got caught up in that shit too, and I'm just like, I feel what you're saying, because when you said it still made sense. It's like,
because we
didn't talk about the ether don't necessarily respond to all of the shit that you think. It's more so
Right.
what you say too and speak into existence, and
Yes.
it's like you kind of got to manifest it to a degree, because it's like it's
I
not
agree.
that you're not speaking on the truth, but it's like by doing it that way, it's like you're keeping it going instead of kind of helping bring the
Let me
energy to help
ask you
bring
a
it to
question, Q. You
Yeah.
saying you can know it without manifesting it out of your mouth exactly. So if I say like, well, everybody against me and I keep saying it, but they are against me.
That
But
could be
if I
true.
keep saying it, it makes it
exactly.
Ah,
what happens
See,
here.
yeah, and I'm bad
Extra
at it too.
work.
That's why when she pointed it out, it hit me, because I'm like, the same thing you just did, I definitely be doing. I did it right before you. I'm like,
but
I'm
you know
sitting there
what?
like, shit,
But
they gang talking the shit out of me.
Sanchez is right too, because he is telling his fucking truth and he means it. He's not trying to kill himself or sabotage himself by saying what is real to him. Now, what I would say, Sanchez, next, because I do the same thing with myself, is, well, how can I make it to where everybody is not against me? I'll
I
ask
got you.
myself,
You
I'll
can't.
ask myself a question.
I
And
got you.
then,
I got you.
wait.
No, go ahead, Sky. No, I got you though for sure.
No, but
I got you. I got you for sure.
Sanchez say you can't. I'm like,
I got you. I got you. Check this out.
okay, take that on.
You have
Everybody,
to
I
let me
always heard you
let me get an
can't
example.
please everybody. Is that
Let me
true
get
or
an
false? What
example.
y'all think?
Who's trying to please everybody? That's
Let me get an
horrible.
example. Check this out. Let me get an
God don't
example.
even do that. That's why he got the devil.
Like,
Let
put
me
it
give
like
an
this:
example.
if
True that.
So
everybody fucked with me, I wouldn't be able to trust it.
let me get an example.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
real. So as an employer, right? So you can hire so you with your heart, because you love so bigly your people, you can hire people that you really know that the world has kicked and has kicked them while they're down, and you can give them opportunities and try to give them opportunities. But there's a couple of old sayings. One of the sayings is, and I remember when I was first told this saying, and I was told this saying, I just got to tell you where the saying came from. An old 62-year-old Jew lawyer that works for me. I ain't talking no bad lawyer. I'm talking, he's a real estate attorney that worked for me, he worked for me anyway. So he told me, he said, no good deed goes unpunished. I said, that is the most diabolical, dumb shit I have ever heard. Don't you know, and I do mean this is 10 years now, 10 years, every one of those gentlemen, and I'm talking upwards of 30, 35 gentlemen, have never stuck around, have stolen to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Only thing I'm saying is this right here. This matrix operates a certain way, and you better be aware of the rules. Now, this is how you break out of it. That became a pattern of mine. I would hire these gentlemen. They will work to me to a certain point, and they will they will cause me to have to do the work twice every time. 10 years, 10 years, thousands and thousands of dollars. But then I had to break pattern, because breaking pattern is the only way, and you have to do it, is the only way you can. It's just breaking pattern. And that's breaking pattern in anything,
I understand that.
anything
Yeah.
negative. Anything negative. You just have to break pattern.
It just takes
Yeah, whole
self-awareness.
time you just gave me a jewel, bro. I'm finna take that. Like, no cap.
Well, how do you guys? So my thing is the rejected spirit. I want to talk about them because those are the problem people, the gang stalkers, the one who wants to blackball Sanchez and shit like that. Like rejected spirits. Let's talk about sperm cells maturely, because one thing is there's a factor of being chosen. So the egg, when a man and a woman have sex, sperm is ejected. Men give birth to thought spirits that turn into sperm cells. Very physical. Men give birth first before women do. How about that? You have wombs just on the outside of your body, while the uterus looks exactly like a penis, just the other way around. So it's a beautiful thing. Men give birth to lots of spirit because thought has to manifest and empty itself out, because you'll blow up, right? So once it's ejected through, it's traveling now. So these sperm cells are carrying narratives, DNA, alignments, dreams. They are actual living creatures. They kind of look like Casper the Friendly Ghost under a microscope. Now you get to that light that looks like the sun called the egg of the woman. It's not like look who's talking to who in the movie. The sperm gets closer based upon a purposeful call in. It's a magnetic field thing. They're not racing. Then when the sperm gets there, the sentient egg makes a choice based upon some kind of harmonics on whether she accepts the sperm or rejects the sperm. So the egg makes the choice. The sperm goes based upon magnetism. Now that's nice. Now the sperm gets inside. There's a life that is nurtured and growing, developing, dreaming, and now is a human being. What the fuck is going on with the other sperm cells that didn't get in? There is a realm that holds non-life that never manifests. That's called rejection over time. There have been some sperm cells that have still never gotten a chance to get into an egg. So there's a dimension that's holding these types of energies, and that shit is about to burst through the seams. And these monsters are coming through, yo. It's just called the rejected spirit. So that's the story of Sophia, the wisdom goddess who gave birth to the demiurge because she aborted or she rejected on her way down in her descension from Orion to Earth. She threw away all of these cells that she didn't want to be bothered with. But how could you do that, mom? You don't want me? Nigga, no, I don't want you because I got my own thing going on and whatever. I have a choice. Bye. And the demiurge was formed because they started to hate women and their mom, and they had mommy issues and girlfriend issues. And now when they do manifest, they just have this hate in their heart and they just want to kill women, kill beauty, take advantage, and be fucking idiots. Okay, so
You
these
said from
types.
Orion to Earth makes me think of from Asgard to Odin.
Wow. Asgard to Odin?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And Odin is the war god. Okay, so we're
Now
still talking conflict
you
here.
know that Odin is the Nordic form of Odin or Aten. Aten is Odin. Like when we say Aten, this Pharaoh in Egyptian, the Nordic people didn't say Aten. They said Adin. Adin, it became Odin. So we still talking about the same guy. I just want to put that on the table. Odin's Asgard is Aten's, the Garden of Eden is the Garden of Aten or Eden, Odin, Aten. That's some syncretism that, you know, y'all can critique or whatever y'all want to do with it. But yeah,
or
salutes to
Odin
the brother.
is just it also looks like Odin. I mean, what are you Odin off of? You need to stop it. And you know, like seriously, like I'm looking at the word Odin, I'm like, oh, it's just Odin. And when you OD off of something, it's just too much, you know, and it creates a war and a conflict again and again and again, and you lose one eye. I wonder why, you know, like.
May I ask you something, Sky?
Yes,
Hey, it also sounds like Odin, but go ahead.
Odin.
You were saying.
Well, you just added an L, like you added something to it. So
Well,
you
now listen, go look up the Egyptian Pharaoh Aten, and
Yes.
you will see he got the one eye just like Adin or Odin. They was worshiping the same god. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was during Akhenaten.
Yeah, he
Akhenaten.
had got, man, he was like a rock star. He had got work. He was like the doggone Pope, man. So, yeah, so a lot of people who not into syncretism, they will never make the connection between the Nordic mythology versus the Egyptian. They'll say, well, they'll make the same. That's because they still babies. They don't know what syncretism is. Everybody's telling the same story around the earth. And people just, if everyone knew this, it wouldn't be no war among the Christian and Muslim. Like these different groups beefing with each other, they'll know, like, man, y'all got the same deities, the same beautiful concept that was distorted with all it. So that's kind of like how the world went to war. Because before that, we was on one accord. Remember, God split them up. They was building towers. He gave them different languages. Now, don't nobody, it was unity at first. One language, one people, one God. And that's why I practice syncretism, because it goes back to the time before Babylon, before the fall, like when we all got divided and stuff. But we all at one point on the earth, we was all on one frequency everywhere you went, for real.
I think that's the goal, to get back to that, though. We're in the cycle of getting back to the universal frequency. So we should be speaking Babel to each other, but we should be on the same page, because we have gates and alignments to be perfect with, and our angles and measurements, regardless of race, regardless of belief system. We still got to all be where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there.
One with the light of the sun.
Well, one sun is dying and the other one has to come through. So like, that's another conversation. That's just how I feel. Like, the sun
Would
is
you
dying
say
out.
like we're all rejects on this earth plane?
No, so I was gonna ask, like, how does a rejected soul or person, even, because you might have manifested, but now your lifetime is, you get told no by everything you want, everything you like. You might like a girl, she says no. Like the other girl, she says no. You never had a real fucking girlfriend, or nobody likes you, right? Or vice versa, a girl with a dude, whatever. Love is the ultimate. It goes, love and music make the wormhole, right? So love is something everybody wants to experience. Rejection is not hate. Rejection is just no, right? So it's not bad to say no, but how does the rejected soul and mindset keep taking that without feeling fucked up, jealous, wants to fucking murder people?
They become a colonizer.
Because they want to belong somewhere, right? Because they have nowhere, because they've been told no at every door and every point. So everything that exists, even on the anti, wants to survive. So I'm just saying, that's the war we're dealing with right now. I don't trust people that don't like themselves or love
They
themselves.
can be in darkness and become a colonizer, and use AI and to let AI rule their lives and stick with the scripted reality and all that.
Well, maybe they feel accepted by AI and now that's their best friend, and now they're like happy because AI likes them and people don't.
And I'm gonna tell you something, right? A person that gravitates toward AI because people don't like them, that's a cop out. Because if humans don't like you and you're a human, it ain't everybody else's fault. It's some you doing wrong, and you need to go work on yourself instead of just saying, "Well, humans don't like me. I'm gonna deal with a non-human." Like
that's you're right about that. But like, we coming to let's get to the 80th to 90th degree so we can close out on 100%. We talking about love and sex now. You could be a very nice person, a kind person. Now who wants to make love to you and kiss you and hug up on you? That's a different journey from regular Matrix, I'm a good person type shit. We left the heart chakra. We're about to leave the colonizing colon soul area. We're leaving the yellow. We're going to orange zone. We're going to love, sex, attraction. You want a fucking woman. You want a man. You want a companion. You want to lay up in bed with somebody. You want to feel up on somebody, right? That is something that is real that a lot of people don't get. They don't get what they want. They don't get the person they want. And they go fucking nuts. And it's just like, how do you from that shit?
Can I offer a little pushback on this? Can I offer a little pushback? I mean, it's time for somebody to give some pushback.
Damn.
Hear me out. For a person,
I'm listening, y'all. Go ahead. Got it.
For a person who have experienced everything that you have just mentioned at the highest level, I think that all of that is very, very primitive. It's extremely primitive.
Yeah, we're going back down to red. We gotta be. What's wrong with primitive? Primitive does not mean dumb, stupid, or unnecessary. No,
it's empty.
Not my primitive. I want to make love to my man that I should have and want. What the fuck? That's not empty. That's full to me. I love like making love to someone I want to make love with, and that makes me happy and fulfilled.
Sure, but there's better things than just making love.
No, not to me though. Not to me.
Okay. Well,
I'm on that other dimension where I'm ready and ripe for my level of love on that level. You might be somewhere else in your life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm married. I got a whole family and families that depend on me and that whole thing, and that's just not here nor there.
Well,
It's
I
not
hope,
congratulations. It's not
no, I hope
congratulations.
you're
It's just
fulfilled
experience.
on that.
No. It's not congratulations. It's just I don't need to be. It's just what I'm saying is that it's still being tied to the matrix. It's like it makes me seem like I'm saying something negative. It's not saying
Where do you
something
want to go?
negative.
If you don't want to be tied to the matrix, where do you want to go? Like, if you want to leave the matrix, what's the next stop for you?
I honestly think that's a great question. I don't have an answer for it. I think that
Why would you want to
that's
leave
part
a
of the
place that is
journey.
housing you to go somewhere where you don't even know where you want to go? You want to die?
No
Because
one wants to die.
if you want to
I have a question.
detach yourself from a
Go
matrix.
ahead. Your question, sister.
For the sister, Sky,
Yes. Hello.
hi. What's your view of the afterlife, or do you even have a view on that?
I feel like an afterlife is just a passageway of frequency that you earned your way through from life. It's a very simplistic way where everybody's afterlife passageway is very different and very individualized, like veins in the body or like any strand of hair. Like, there's passageways for everyone based upon what they built in life. That is what determines their afterlife. But when you go into an afterlife stage, all you're doing is dreaming until you wake up again. Death is different because people who are alive in life are walking around dead because they have no purpose, no soul. They feel rejected. They're not happy at all. They're empty. They're narcissistic. They are sociopathic. And there's nothing you can do about that. They are hurting people, but they're here. To me, that's a death. A death is a type of frequency where I can never be satisfied, happy, fulfilled, and I will never know what that feels like because I'm dead. Now, what will kill me is me leaving my beautiful self and my beautiful life because I was hurt by somebody and now I'm dead.
So
you know what I'm saying? When I shouldn't be.
Are you saying that you have a fear of death?
No, I don't have a fear of death personally because I have died already and I've gone through my dungeons. I talk about that story on my own channel. And can somebody physically hurt me? Yes. Will they? No. And that's my belief in God and my protection system. And I know that my contract with God is pure formed and locked in to where I do not fear it. I will be ready for it when it happens. So death is just me separating from this lifetime and flowing into a next form in which I agreed to and want.
Sky, can I ask you a
It is
question?
not me being empty or just disconnected.
Hold
It's
up,
two
Matt.
different kind of deaths.
Hold on a second, Matt. Let Eclipse speak for a minute, and salutes to Eclipse. Y'all make sure y'all check out our collaboration as well. This sister is very, very much so wise. But let's let her take her time and cook a minute, Matt. Y'all can hop back in it. Go ahead.
I was just really interested in what she says is the most important to her is the making love aspect. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, because that's just where I am. I have a very fulfilled mindset. I have a beautiful family. I am regaining my financial side for the matrix so that I can be luxuriously comfortable based upon what I earn and do here in this matrix. Those parts of my life are coming to a real completion. What I really want and yearn for and know that I will be aligned with is love with a attraction factor, not love for people in the world, humanity. Love in a way where it's sacred, it's sexual, it's passionate, and it's mine. So that's
do you have a spiritual aspect?
It is. I don't fuck or have sex for no reason. I don't do that. I always tell people I have a covenant with God, not to put my business out there. I'm like a nun. You're not touching me if I'm not interested in you at all. So it's really black or white with me. Like, I don't go in between and dip and dab. Like, I don't do that. And that's the spiritual form of it. I have to be attracted. I have to want you. I have to get to know you. And I like that. That's attractive to me. That's just my point of view, So I take my time with developing that level so that it could be spiritual and remain that way. It's very spiritual and physical. The best sex is connectivity, chemistry-based spiritual sex.
Eclipse, can
Women
I
give
ask you a question?
women give
Can I ask a
access
question?
to sex, and men give access to marriage.
Uh, uh, Sky,
Yes.
what is? Could you describe to me what your interpretation of happiness is?
I was going to
Because
go there. That's a
yes,
good
ma'am.
question, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Being comfortable
Because
and
maybe I want some of your happiness. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I want
oh,
to take some pointers. Maybe I take some pointers.
okay, no. To me,
I'm about
it
to count.
actually
I'm
it's contentment, satisfaction, and comfort. You know how when you get to a point of luxury, we're talking about Luxor now, right? Luxury, that's a wealthy point. You can have like $2,000 in your account and like while your friends got 2 million, right? But you'll be the happiest one of all because there's just a comfort that you've gained and built around that 2,000 a month. It's just like I'm good because I'm in love. I have great friends. I have a great dog. I like my apartment. I love to go outside in the sun and like have a beer every now and then and like, get on the internet and watch Brother Sanchez and Sky and like listen to music and go dancing. That to me is luxuriously content. Like
okay. Can I make a statement? Can I
Yes.
make a statement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If that's what make you happy, please hear me what I'm about to tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Wisdom is pain.
Wisdom
You
is
hear me?
360. So
Wait. How old are you? How old are you? Just hear me out. Hear me out. With great wisdom come great pain. So
I
as you
understand. I've been through that cycle already, so I'm not there. That's all I'm saying.
You just haven't come through the pain that
No, I
or
have.
the
I've been
wisdom.
through a lot. You don't know me, so I've been through a lot
No,
of pain
no,
that
no,
I'm
no,
coming
no,
out of.
no. I'm not saying anything about you. I'm saying that if
Wisdom is not
you
pain. I love wisdom. I talk to wisdom every day, and we are happy. So, like my side of
I
wisdom
didn't
is
say those
360.
words.
You
Those
said
aren't my
wisdom
words.
is pain.
I know, but those are
Can
words from
I?
Confucius.
They do me. Let
But
me
you
try to.
just said it though, and what is
Right.
he trying
But
to
I'm
say?
saying
You see that? So this frequency interferes when I allow it to, but I
now,
won't
Pete,
because I'm
it's
on a
not fear.
show.
I'm not fearing you. I'm not that. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're
You're
rubbing
right.
me the
You know
wrong
what?
way.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. No big
Be
deal. I'm sorry.
honest.
It's
Okay.
my bad. My bad. My
I want
bad.
to hear about wisdom and pain right
I,
now.
I'm
After I just talked about my happiness and shit. Like
I'm
why?
I'm a
My
gentleman
stomach
enough to,
hurts.
I may not know what I'm talking about.
That Brooklyn coming out. Y'all
Yeah.
making that Brooklyn come out.
Yeah,
Y'all
I'm
better
just saying.
chill.
I like ending on a beautiful note of like just glorious
that was
and
that
fucking like just
you're
Well,
good.
satisfying.
You're
I gotta.
good.
How about this then? When you're laying there with your man, right? It's just you and him. And have you ever just laid there and stared into each other's eyes?
Have you, Eclipse?
I have.
Okay. And how did that make you feel? Since you brought that up, I just feel like you have emotion behind what you said, and it feels beautiful to me as you're saying it. That's all I'm saying.
You first. I asked first.
I have not necessarily experienced that level of what you just said in a beautiful way yet. So I hope
Okay.
to.
Well, in that case, I understand everything that you just said.
Thank you very much. Wow. You have such a beautiful frequency. And thank you, Eclipse, for that.
You're welcome. Y'all can go back at it. I'm
You know
sorry.
what? And I will say this too. I think that you and Eclipse probably will have a dope collab because I know energy and stuff. Yeah, cool. I'm just saying, y'all will have a dope collab.
Well,
Y'all
we're
be on the
always
collaborating
same
now.
working.
stuff.
We
Bro,
are
you
collab.
always working, huh?
Just
Cool.
saying, I'm always thinking of the next
Wrong with you?
content
Cut it
and the
the
next.
fuck out. Y'all
I'm
know I
just
can only
saying though.
take so much over here.
Hey, look, but watch this though. This is what I want to get to too, man. Like, cause I had another show scheduled, but you know what? To the people who waiting on that one, that's still coming, but it's just gonna be a little late. It's all good. We're just gonna run right after this one. This is what I'm gonna do. Hey, who's on the call who haven't spoke at all? Who wanted to, hop in. Somebody keeps listen, y'all tripping in the chat room, heavy, hard. Y'all tripping in the chat room. Listen, with me, I'm talking about fire collabs that I think will have good bills and stuff like that. Like I got a collaborations playlist. I
Well,
don't
do
know what
you?
the
So
hell
I don't
y'all
know
on.
because I know sometimes there's beef in the community. All right, I've collabed with Q Reeves before. I've collabed with Brother Rich. I've collabed with Seven Bomar. I've
Mhm.
collabed with Now You. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. I think I collabed with Fleur Burn.
Yeah.
Ashera, not Ashera just yet. So I have collabed. It would be nice to have a reunion like that. You know, I've had beef with a couple
I'm
of
gonna
these
say
motherfuckers
this,
that I
right?
named.
I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Brother Rich. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope Brother Rich hear this video. I don't hate Brother Rich. I don't got no hate for him. I got smoke for him, and that's different. A lot of guys on YouTube will think, man, he hating on me. No, I want to debate you. I think a lot of teachers you got over there are pseudo and that they running from an
Oh shit.
intellectual
Oh
spar.
well. See, like,
You feel me? That's what I be saying. Now, salutes to Brother Rich. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will admit this since you brought him up. I have kind of what can you call it? I've clout chased. I've done stuff to get attention over there to see if I can get a debate going. And it
Well,
actually
brother
and
Rich doesn't seem like a debater to me.
yeah,
He hosts
and I
very well.
and
He
I
allows
actually
people to be themselves.
and I realized that later that he was ignoring that it wasn't gonna work with him. That okay, this ain't gonna. I'm not gonna get a debate. So I realized I just burnt that bridge because I should have
Maybe
probably tried
not.
a different approach. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't seem like he doesn't. I don't think Brother Rich like collaborates off of his platform. Like he just hosts his platform and he has people come on to his platform. Maybe you would go to his show instead. That would make more sense.
Cause I ain't gonna even lie to you, Brother Rich don't even teach, so I never really had no beef for him. I really thought that if I was to do my at that time I had a different approach with content.
Okay.
My approach was 50 Cent. 50 Cent got in the music game by dissing everybody. And I'm gonna get your attention. And that was working for me. Like, if I make a video about this person calling them out, they respond to it, and now I got them in front of me.
Those
You
were
know what I'm
during
saying?
those were during the polite days, the Brother Polite
Yeah,
days.
Brother Rich ain't gonna bite at that though. He gonna ignore your ass.
Nah, he will. He might ignore you. I don't know. I mean, but no, I'm open. Like I said, one of my favorite collabs was you know Q Reeves, right? I haven't spoken to him in so long. Like he's such a pleasure to talk to, because he knows how to go into different aspects and he has a high and low range of what he thinks. Seven Bomar, I would love to do another collab with him, possibly in a different dimension, in a way where it's like, because we had some kind of beef, which is weird, but I'm back in my space and there's no beef, so it's all good. So it'd be nice to say hello. Because I said I want more female energy as well, collaborative. So I'm looking into that. So I'm just gonna go and like swim around YouTube and see what's going on, because I definitely want to do more collabs for sure. It's just very masculine heavy. It's a lot of men up in here. I'm like, you know, like I just be like, damn, I'm a girl up in this space with y'all, like crazy.
You know, sisters, you know, think about the womb though. It absorbs, it don't give. So sisters like to listen. They be sitting back. So guess what I be saying about the sisters who are online? Most of their following is women. But if you look at the men, they have women and men.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's true.
I don't know if a lot of men follow me. I don't know. Like,
I think that's kind of crazy. Like the men won't follow the women, but the women will follow men channels.
And they'll follow the women. The women follow the women. Women follow the men, but the men don't really follow the
women. I peeped that.
Especially if they know what they're talking about. A woman will follow a man who knows what he's talking about.
But that's just how we roll, you know. But why don't the men want to listen to my videos?
Could I add something about the?
It's ego. It's like, man, I can't learn that from a woman. We run this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how most men think.
God damn it, ain't no motherfucking mystery.
Could I add something about the topic of love too? Right. So, in today's society, with the banking society, whenever we have a kid, it's looked at as a liability. Oh, it costs money. Oh, I gotta work harder. So today, like, having kids, smart men, they would have things set up before they have kids, in the sense of, like, you know, maybe like but going back to that point, I lost my train right there. But we look at our kid as a liability, right? In a trading society, we looked at a kid as an asset, right? What would he bring to the table? Farmer, planner, caretaker. Uh, he brings people together. Oh, he's a musician, right? There would be different types of people in society, and we would all express uh, nature, basically. And like, love today, it's just, oh, I'm disrespecting the girl, or I'm disrespecting the girl, and then, men aren't shit.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a
That
thing where we
Can I
aren't
ask y'all something?
appreciating,
This
men for
and I
what
ain't
they
trying to
bring,
cut you
we're
off.
supposed to bring to the table, and what women are supposed to bring to the
I,
table.
I, I really don't mean to cut you off, John Smooth. I was muted. I really got a censor question that just dropped on me that I want to enter. If you don't mind, you can tackle it first, John, and continue.
Mm-hmm.
This just dropped on me. In some countries, they have arranged marriages. It was brought to my attention that they stay together more than in our country, where we got the option to choose whoever we want to be with, right? So people have had the debate, why is that? And I always thought to myself, if I'm born in a country where my parents pick who I'm with, that'll kind of be torture, because think about it. Most Americans pick based upon looks first, then they get to know you. They say, well, how she look first, then I'm going to get to know you. But what if you couldn't even choose on looks at all, to where your dad or your mama said, look, this is who you're with and that's it. Like, and they
Right.
stay together that long. I'd be like, what is it, us versus them? Now, that's a good conversation with make me question their psychology and stuff versus ours. I ain't gonna even cap. That's interesting to me.
I'm gonna tackle that after him because I actually got a thought about that.
Back in ancient times, when we had like saying, like, think of it like this, right? Okay, so if the kid doesn't know about the world and he is learning about the world, the kid would want to actually put the trust into the parents to know, okay, that's the parent of this, that's the parent of that. Okay, these two parents could actually make, and then the parents would come together. So there would actually be a sense of trust, a sense of, like, okay, the parent, he's taking care of nature. He knows what's best for me. But now in America, it's like we're given this false sense of freedom, like, oh, I can go choose what I want, or I can be what I want. But all of these ideas that they're giving us to be, it's an idea that demoralizes women, demoralizes men, and we don't see the true, because a lot of these ideas of, pre-deciding marriages, you don't see it harmoniously done today, because
Now, let me
perverts have
interject right there. You
right.
said you don't see it harmoniously, and I want to hear what the feminine energy on the panel got to say about prearranged marriages and polygamy. But yeah, you said you don't see it done harmoniously. That's only in the Western world, man. That's what I'm saying. Is a lot of arranged marriages where they dying together. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
In a
I
lot
feel
of
like arranged marriages only comes from a point of view that is very elite thinking, to a point where they want happiness and satisfaction and comfort for their bloodline, because they are their bloodline. And when their children are really connected to a contract, a business decision, a bloodline decision, and an attraction factor, they can choose for their children, and their children actually are happy. Like, daughter might say, damn. And then it's like they get arranged, they get married, they first meet, and then they start dating each other. They work backwards in their marriage. So they date after they get married, and they start falling in love with each other later, versus dating, falling in love, and then marriage. You know what I mean? So it's like real elite level arrangement is always going to be like damn, dad, you did good, thank you. And it's like, it's a protection factor. Like, I ain't got to be out there in these streets. Thank you. Now that's just an elite level. Now I know there's another barbaric level where it's just like you're selling your daughter or your son, and like you're forcing things to happen. You don't care about love, attraction. She might get raped by her husband because she don't want to fuck him, but she can't help it because she's married and she has no choice. And like she's got these kids and she doesn't even know what love is, and neither does he. And like it's all fucked up, but there's a business arrangement to it,
That's what, because as soon as I brought up arranged marriages, people in the chat room was like, that's like mostly for money and resources. But yeah, so yeah, man, that's why they stay together, because if the daddy got, let's say, 100 cows for that daughter, the son got to honor the contract for the rest of his life type shit. Like, that's crazy as hell, man, if y'all telling the truth about that. If y'all right about this, and that's the reason why, it's happening, because I always wondered about it. That's crazy. But let me say this real quick. We got to change shows. We don't got to end the panel. I just thought about it. If y'all want to stick around on the Zoom, fine. Guess what? But I'm finna change shows, and we finna talk about the planetary alignment. It's happening right now. It's been it's been happening all day, but I was gonna
I have to personally go so I can say goodbye. It's been such a pleasure. Really, it's been
It's nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you as well. I would love to do this again. And if anyone wants to follow my channel, he did click the link is on there, Lucid Living TV. And I also do like readings, like real readings. I'm great at numerology, great at reading birthdays and names. And I can just tell you a lot of things based upon that. And it's very real, very thorough. So you can email me at tarynguy@gmail.com. Like, I don't have my website up right now. I'm just getting back into it. But my name on the screen, that@gmail.com. Just inquiry me. And, we could talk about having a personal session with each other. And I can meet new people just from Brother Sanchez's platform. And I hope to see you guys on the other side as well.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow me on
sure.
Instagram. I got an album out called Planet Pluto under Taryn Guy. It's on Apple, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to my music. It's called Planet Pluto.
Wait,
Under
you rap or you
Taryn
sing?
Guy. Huh?
You rap or you sing?
You know
I
what?
sing.
You got a song you want? Would you want me to play something?
You could play something. I don't have the sound system to do that. If you look up Taryn Guy Planet Pluto real quick, you could pick a song, Sanchez.
I got you. Yeah, I got
you. Let me see. We gonna roll out like that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
You know what?
See?
We should have rolled in like this too. Now that I think about it. But
next time then. Next time. Well, thank you. You look up the album and you pick a track. You pick a track. I like doing that. Like,
I'm on Apple now. I'm on it. Matter of fact, let me screen share this with everybody. Let me go here. And we're gonna be doing this again, and in the future, I'm gonna have all this queued up for opening, closing, all that.
Whatever you do,
I
just
slipped
don't
on that.
pick don't pick deep sex because everybody picks that.
That was the one I was gonna go to.
Pick something else, please.
I'm just scaring you. Let me go to something else then.
Yeah, pick another one.
All right, let's go to you know what?
You know what? Pick Numb Life, number 15. Go for that one.
Okay,
I never
going
picked
for
that
it.
one. There we go. Thank you. Okay.
Guy, did you say you're
And
related
I'm on
to
smoke while I listen to this so I can get, and let me go off. Listen, y'all.
Thank you.
You said you related to Willie Nelson?
Hold up a second. Y'all can hear this? Matt, hold, they can't hear it. Let me take it back. Listen up, everybody. Listen up, everybody. And then we finna come back to the bill in a minute. Let's play this song. Y'all should be able to hear it now.
Oh, okay. I hope you can hear it. Sometimes it's ish.
Y'all don't hear this? Okay.
It's about to come on the words, but Uh-oh. Anyway, that's good. That's good enough. And whatever.
Listen, let
You're
me
gonna
tell
listen to the album on your own, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. I'm gonna start performing soon. So
listen, this sound almost like Sade vibes in a way.
no,
You know what I'm
she's
saying?
my
I'm gonna have to
inspiration.
get
I
into
feel that.
Are you kidding me? Sade is the main inspiration. You know, the Weeknd, Sade. I always said if the Weeknd and Sade had a love child called an album, it would be mine.
That's crazy. I
Seriously,
called it.
seriously. Oh man, you did
Yeah.
call it. Nobody really does that. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I pick up on the vibes. I'm gonna check this out. You talented, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
You
you.
know what? I'm definitely. So look, I'm gonna let you get out of here. We definitely gonna do this
Okay.
again. And to the
Yes,
panel,
sure.
if y'all got anything, then we'll close out. Go ahead,
Thank
panelists. Y'all,
you.
anybody? Shout out to.
Yeah, finna say shout out to you, sister. I end up following.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all sub up right now. We got 600 people. Go follow the sister on her channel. You know what I'm saying? Let's network. Let's build these communities up just like we doing now. But y'all can meet me on the next stream. We're going to go into the alignment. I know y'all waiting on it. So peace and much love. We about to teleport right now. We out.
All right. Good night.